I'm Tom Bodette from Motel 6, and we'll leave the light on for you.
Red Eye Radio and our sponsors are devoted to trucking safety. That's why we are proud to bring you the Red Eye Radio Million Mile Club. We've been saluting drivers who have surpassed the million-mile mark with preventable, accident-free driving. By reaching this milestone, you could be a part of an elite club of drivers who share remarkable safety records and demonstrate superior driving skills. If you or someone you know is a truck driver with 1,000,000 miles or more of driving under your belt without a preventable accident, register online at redeyeradioshow.com. That's redeyeradioshow.com. The Red Eye Radio Million Mile Club would not be possible without the generous support of the fine folks from Petro Stopping Centers, House Lubricator, Motel 6, the St. Christopher Fund, and Cat Scale. We applaud the individual truckers and fleets who drive with care and keep our highways safe. The Red Eye Radio Million Mile Club, devoted to trucking safety. Register online at redeyeradioshow.com.
The St. Christopher Truckers Relief Fund is excited to offer our new diabetes prevention program, Driving Down Diabetes. This free, CDC-approved year-long program includes live webinars focusing on nutrition, exercise, stress management, and more. This program is for those at risk not already diagnosed with diabetes. Visit our website at truckersfund.org and take the risk assessment under the Health and Wellness tab. This prevention program is sponsored by Southern Recipe. Get registered today at truckersfund.org.
News Radio 1440, WLWI AM, the home of the Dan Bongino Show. Also on 95.1 HD3 FM, Montgomery, Alabama, a Cumulus media station. This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
I'm Stacey Lynn in Washington. Florida residents are getting jittery about Hurricane Ian.
I'm always nervous when they say hurricane storm, But listen, I live in Florida.
Ian's on path to hit the state, and Weather Channel meteorologist Rick Knabb tells us it is intensifying fast.
Conditions will be going downhill from south to north, mainly starting on Wednesday and going north from there. We could have major impacts even without a major hurricane on the wind scale.
The last big hurricane that clobbered Florida was the Category 5 monster Hurricane Michael 4 years ago. Fiona left widespread damage in eastern Canada. Tim Houston is the premier of hard-hit Nova Scotia. He says it will take a lot of time and manpower to recover.
Effort that's required to move the trees, to move the brush. It's a huge undertaking. In Dorian, there was somewhere around 1,000 military personnel that came and supported Nova Scotians. We're hopeful that will be at least in that range this time.
Power is still out for hundreds of thousands. A gunman opened fire at a school in Russia about 600 miles east of Moscow. 13 people were killed, 7 of the victims children. Officials say the gunman, who shot himself, had Nazi symbols on his T-shirt. To the war in Ukraine now, Russian President Putin is threatening to use nuclear weapons. Ukrainian President Zelensky says he doesn't think he's bluffing. Secretary of State Blinken responded on CBS's 60 Minutes.
It's very important that Moscow hear from us and know from us that the consequences would be horrific, and we've made that very clear.
Italy is set to elect a far-right leader who would also be its first female prime minister. Giorgia Meloni leads the Brothers of Italy party. So an interpreter.
Because the great objective that we've always had as a political force is that of ensuring Italians may once again be proud to be Italians.
Scary moments for an NFL quarterback after slamming his head on the turf after a hit. CBS's Matt Piper with details.
While it was a win Sunday for the Miami Dolphins on CBS Sports, there are questions surrounding QB Tua Tagovailoa after a head injury left him wobbly on the field.
It's the back of his head.
Though the 24-year-old was cleared when evaluated by a team physician, the NFL Players Association wants to launch a review.
They want to make sure he didn't get a concussion, which had led to player deaths and debilitating symptoms like depression and memory loss. Stock futures point to a 5th day of losses on Wall Street today. This is CBS News.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Visit libertymutual.com to learn more.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong,
It's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender by Norton is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. 800-401-6681.
For the third time, NASA's moon rocket launch that was scheduled for tomorrow has been postponed. And yeah, you can blame Mother Nature. NASA's concerned about Tropical Storm Ian, which could eventually become a Category 3 hurricane when it hits Florida early this week. Snoop Dogg wants you to start the day with him.
Drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot.
Following the launch of his Snoop Loop cereal earlier this year, he's now out with a whole new line called Mama Snoop Breakfast Foods.
Top of the morning, as you can see, we got the brunch food breakfast selection for you. Starting off over here with the Mama Snoop maple syrup. Look at it.
Along with the syrup, there's oatmeal pancake mix and
my favorite, the one, not the two. Hello, grits, baby. Yes.
He says his food is meant to provide diversity in supermarkets and to build economic empowerment and generational wealth. Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
Ain't gonna take more than that, brother. Some grits. Don't take more than grits. However, that's a good start. Good start. Good start. Good start. I don't know if I'm gonna eat some grits because Snoop Dogg made them, but I'm gonna have to try it one time anyway. All right then. Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? I hope you're doing well. Snoop Dogg. My name is Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg.
Immune support, and after a couple of weeks, our little Gizmo was acting like a puppy again. He had a lot less scratching and shedding, and he seemed like his happy old self.
My dog smelled and
I need a new light here.
sprayed her, took her to the vet. Good now, no scratching or smell.
Get 10% off your next order of Dynamite nutritional supplements for dogs at Dynamite.com.
Healthier with every bite. Over 1 million pets helped with Dynamite.
To wash your food, you can brush your teeth, but what about your nose? How do you clean your nose?
I don't know why. Why don't you let it be?
But over time, they also find that cleaning your nose makes them feel better. A lot better. Nearly 3 billion Navage users have written more than 100,000 reviews, averaging 4.7 stars, saying things like, best product I've ever used, and amazing, I love my Navage. That's because Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less. But the biggest payoff is improved health. Here's the key point. Navage is good personal hygiene, and it's going to help you stay healthy. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, Target, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month. And that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. Very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 844-53-BIBLE. That's 844-53-BIBLE. 844-53-BIBLE.
MyPillow is having their biggest bed sheet sale ever. The MyPillow Percale sheets are available in a variety of colors, and all sizes are on sale. For example, the queen size, regular price $89.98, now only $39.98 with your promo code. Order now, as there's a very limited supply. The MyPillow Percale sheets are breathable and have a cool, crisp feel. They have deep pockets to fit over any mattress. These come with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. Go to mypillow.com and click on the radio listener square and use promo code Westwood to receive the MyPillow Percale sheets for as low as $29.98. Order now, because when they're gone, they're gone. Or call 800-652-7485 and use promo code Westwood.
Is the voice of the conservative millennial. The Ben Shapiro Show, Monday night at 8 p.m. on News Radio 1440. Depend on it. Your WSFA First Alert weather forecast on News Radio 1440.
Sponsored by Blindster. Want to see big on new blinds? Blindster.com offers custom-made blind sheets and shutters shipped directly to you at prices less than big box retailers. Shop Blindster now and save 45% off any order. Just use code RADIO. Offer ends soon. Shop today. Blindster.com.
Plenty of sunshine for your Monday. Temperatures toasty again, up around 86, 87. We'll have some high clouds this afternoon, but that's about it. The humidity will be lower. For tonight, clear upper 50s. Plenty of sunshine on Tuesday. Temperatures only around 81. It will turn breezy on Tuesday, and Wednesday and Thursday are also breezy. And there will be a little more cloud cover Wednesday and Thursday, ahead of a chance of some light rain Friday into Saturday. That's your First Alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic, brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. Right now, we're looking good. Your Monday kicks off with no major problems or accidents. We checked with the surrounding counties. They're clear. Interstate systems moving into the Tri-County area from Clanton, Auburn, and Greenville. No problems on 231 south out of Wetumpka, north out of Troy. Keep listening. We'll keep you posted. The Toyota factory is cranking them out again, and the truckloads of Toyotas are arriving every day at Reinhardt Toyota, and they're excited. Stop by Reinhardt Toyota on the East Boulevard. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch traffic, this is Major Delay.
You love your car, yes? But why are you not loving it with those tires that carry you and your family everywhere? Let Chico's Auto Pros show some love with our super savings on tires. Chico's Auto Pro.
Good morning, I'm Jasmine Williams at WSFA 12 News. Here's what's happening this Monday. The Alabama Department of Corrections has released new information about the treatment given to an inmate at the Elmore Correctional Facility. Thousands of people have shared images of 32-year-old Castelio Vaughn, who appears to be sick and frail, and his family is begging for medical attention. The ADOC tells WSFA in part that Vaughn has, quote, received appropriate medical treatment. An Ozark man, Jeremy Morris, is behind bars involved with the solicitation of children. According to the Dale County Sheriff's Office, Morris allegedly solicited sexual contact with children via an undercover officer. He's since been charged with first-degree rape, sexual abuse of a child, and more. After spending months in Russian captivity, 2 Alabamians are finally home. Alex Druki and Andy Wynn arrived in Birmingham this weekend. The men were serving with the Ukraine Army as volunteers when they were captured back in June. I'm Jasmine Williams at WSFA, and these are your morning headlines.
There's nothing like hearing the songs you love on local radio, with no subscriptions and no monthly fees. But there's a new bill in Congress that could stop the music. If passed, this bill would tax your local radio station simply to play the music you love. Text LOCAL to 52886 and ask Congress to support local radio stations. Help us keep you connected to the music, local news, weather, and traffic that you need each day. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Hey, Bobby, why do digital marketers make good actors?
I'm not sure. Why do they?
Because they nail impressions. Man, Bobby, you kill me.
So, you think you can sell impressions too? Boy, do we have a job for you. Cumulus Media is looking for a great digital sales manager. We offer full-time positions with great benefits and opportunities in media, digital sales, a fun working environment, and all the impressions you could possibly think about selling in the industry, on air, and online.
Go to newsradio1440.com for details.
The dollar is in grave danger as Russia and China recruit more nations into their anti-dollar alliance threats. If this continues, how much longer until the dollar is worthless? Stephen K. Bannon here. I urge you.
All my cappuccino went in the microwave.
Safeguarding your savings into a goal.
Went in the microwave.
Get your free copy. Text the word safeguard to 98.
It went in the microwave.
Continuing to explode. It's critical you take action today. Text safeguard to 989898 right now.
You want to be a showstopper like The Miz? You want to be awesome? Then you'll want to have a game plan. Whether you're a champion or a bettor, you've got to be responsible. The DraftKings Sportsbook offers all the tools you need. You can set a realistic budget and bet within your means. You can set time, deposit, and wager limits so you can have a personal game plan for having fun while being responsible. I practice safe bets, and so should you. Visit DraftKings.com/responsible-gaming to learn about all these tools and more.
Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/responsible gaming for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources.
He is the voice of the conservative millennial.
Ben Shapiro.
The Ben Shapiro Show, tonight at 8 p.m. on News Radio 1440. Depend on it.
And good morning, everybody. It's time to rise and shine. If you would, it's time to I don't know what happened to my doggone song this month. Okay, see, I know it's Monday. I know it's a Monday, but that's okay. We will handle this because it is time. It is time for our daily bread. Now, I don't know what happened to my thing. See, I should have, okay, so, that's what happened right there. Move that from there. Okay, so, okay, I got this. Okay, I got this. Not a problem. It's one of those things that happens to us sometimes. So, without any further ado, since my thingamajigger is messed up this morning, I'll go back and square that away later on. I don't know why I didn't look at that earlier, but let me see now. Okay. All righty then. Okay. Well, okay. It's I can tell it's going to be Monday. Okay. It is Monday. And you know what happens on Mondays. Okay. Things happen. Okay. And today, it's no different. But I got this, okay? I got this. I got it. We're doing okay. Okay, there we go. All right, then I got it. I'm okay. So I got this. I'm a professional. So when things mess up, you just deal with it and drive on. Good morning to all of you. It's a great day to be alive. It's a great day to be on top of the ground, rather than the ground on top of you. It is time for our daily bread. And of course, our daily bread is, what is today's title of our daily bread? Here it goes right here. It is the miracle of salvation. Okay. The scripture insight today comes from John 11 and 40. Well, John 11, 38 through 44. But John 11 and 40 says, did I not tell you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God? Govern yourselves accordingly, and now let us get. We might as well just get busy here. Okay, so the miracle of salvation, that is our daily bread for this day, right here. So hang loose. We'll be back.
By Kimya Loader. Blogger Kevin Lynn's life seemed to be falling apart. In a recent article, he recounted, I actually put a gun to my head. It took for God to supernaturally step into my room and my life. And at that moment, I really found what I know is God now. God intervened and prevented Lynn from taking his life. He filled him with conviction and gave him an overwhelming reminder of his loving presence. Instead of hiding this powerful encounter, Lynn shared his experience with the world, creating a YouTube ministry where he shares his own transformation story, as well as the stories of others. When Jesus' follower and friend Lazarus died, in John chapter 11, many assumed that Jesus was too late. Lazarus had been in his tomb for 4 days before Christ arrived, but he turned this moment of anguish into a miracle when he raised him from the dead. Did I not tell you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God? He asked. Just as Jesus raised Lazarus from death to life, he offers us new life through him. By sacrificing his life on the cross, Christ paid the penalty for our sins and offers us forgiveness when we accept his gift of grace. We're freed from the bondage of our sins, renewed by his everlasting love, and given the opportunity to change the course of our lives. Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from John chapter 11, verses 38 through 44. Jesus, once more deeply moved, came to the tomb. It was a cave with a stone laid across the entrance. "Take away the stone," he said. "But Lord," said Martha, the sister of the dead man, "by this time there is a bad odor, for he has been there 4 days." Then Jesus said, "Did I not tell you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God?" So they took away the stone. Then Jesus looked up and said, "Father, I thank you that you have heard me. I knew that you always hear me, but I said this for the benefit of the people standing here, that they may believe that you sent me." When he had said this, Jesus called in a loud voice, "Lazarus, come out." The dead man came out, his hands and feet wrapped with strips of linen and a cloth around his face. Jesus said to them, "Take off the grave clothes and let him go." Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we often take for granted how you've rescued us and transformed our lives. Thank you for loving us so much that you were willing to make the ultimate sacrifice to save us. Help us to live as those who are truly saved and truly free. It's in Jesus' name that we pray. Amen. Thanks for listening today. My name is Tony Collier, and today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
Okay, it's time to rise and shine, people. It's time to get out of bed. That's right. Here we go. Here we go. Well, where we at? Come on now. Let's get it. I know it's Monday. We got this. Okay, kind of low, but we'll work on that. All right, it's time to rise and shine. Now it's time for the general to call cadence. It's Monday. It's time to rise and shine. The bread was moldy and the meat was bad. Bread was moldy and the meat was bad. Oh! You know darn well that you can't eat that. Here we go, all the way, gotta be rough and tough, airborne, all the way. When I was young, I always wanted to be in the 82nd Airborne, easing the breeze. Now that I'm here, I'm gonna do it right. Jump from an aircraft while in flight. All the way, airborne, airborne, all the way. Driving on, driving on. All the way, airborne, airborne, all the way. Driving on, driving on. Early one morning in the drizzling rain. Well, I picked up my parachute and hailed the plane. Jump master said 1 minute to go. Green light go. It's Monday morning. You can tell it. You can tell it's Monday, but I'm not gonna let it bother me. We're gonna just drive on. Coming up next, PT. Somebody get the mayor and everybody out here. And the sergeant major.
All the way, gotta be.
Rough and tough. Airborne. All right, now it's time for PT. Yes, it is. We got to get to run. We got to get this 1 mile in, and then we'll come back and honor our armed forces. Okay, there we go. Hard work. Woo! That's what they say. Hard work. Hard work. Oh, get up about 2:45 in the room and earn my pay. Hard work. I go to work. Hard work. That's what they say. Hard work. I earn my pay. Oh. Woo. Hard work. Hard work. Hard work. Let's go to work. Hard work. Hard work. Hard work. Hard work. Hard work. Oh, hard work. Hard work. Hard work. Hard work. Go to work. Hard work. On the airplane in the early morning rain. That's what they say. Hard work. I do it for play. Come on. Hard work. Hard work. Hard work. Send them on down. Woo! Hard work. Hard work. Are we done yet? Come on. I'm doing it for play. Woo! Hard work. Okay. I got that mile out right quick. And now we pay homage to all of our armed forces of these United States of America: Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, and Space Force. But let's not forget our local folks, okay? Montgomery Police Department, good morning to the Chief, Daryl Abbott. Also, good morning to Fire Department Chief, Mr. Jordan. Morning to the Sheriff, Derek Cunningham. Good morning to the Mayor. Always got to kiss a little booty. That's okay. It's all right to kiss booty as long as you're kissing booty. Somebody can do something for you. Don't just be kissing it for free. All right, then. Good morning. And to everybody else. But more importantly, to the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Alabama National Guard, and Alabama Air Force. This is an Air Force town after all. We got to pay homage to them, okay? Good morning to the Sanitation Department. All my guys out there. They're like the soldiers of the streets, you know. They're always out there every morning, no matter what the rain is, no matter how cold it is, they're out there. So next time you see them, wave at them. Give them a big thumbs up for doing a great job. And the maintenance department, I told you, man, I went on Court Street yesterday. Court Street has been paved. I can't believe it. That only took like 20 years. But hey, better late than never. Now, can somebody get Federal Drive now? I'm just saying. That's probably going to take, I'll probably be dead by then. All right, then. Let's get up. Let's rise and shine. And thank God that you're on top of the ground and the ground's not on top of you. Good morning to you. And good morning, Maxwell and Gunner. Again, this is an Air Force town, so we have to pay homage to our Air Force partners out there. And to that Space Force thing, I can't figure that one out, but maybe they do a lot of stuff in secret that we don't supposed to know. But we're paying them, so hopefully they're doing something. And last but not least, their motto is Semper Fidelis, but the Marines couldn't handle that one. So he just said Semper Fi. But whether it's Semper Fidelis or Semper Fi, it all means the same thing. Always, always faithful. Anybody want to hear the story about me in the Marine Corps? One more time? I mean, this is the last year I'm going to tell it. After that, I'm going to go off into the sunset. Nobody wants to hear it? Okay. But if you do, let me know. I'll tell you one more time. Why I denied my white cap and my dress blues? My Marine Corps dress blues, I mean.
Hey. That's your Space Force song?
Yeah.
It's your first break. You need to come clean the microwave.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, people are trying to use it.
What time to clean it for, brother?
No, they ain't gonna clean it for you. They don't clean up your mess. Ain't none of your hoes here.
Can't believe my coffee spilled. I mean, can you believe it? My coffee spilled in the microwave. They want me to come clean it up. Okay, come on, man. Listen, all right, listen. I got to take a break, and then I'll come back with my audio presentation for the morning. I can't believe they want me to come in there and clean up my mess. Come on now. They forget who's the star on this floor. Boy, I tell you. Anyway, let's take a break, and we'll be back uno momento. All right? They want me to come clean it up. Hey, where are the maids around here? Okay? I'm a star. Since when we got to clean up our own mess? See, if I was on FM, they wouldn't have said anything. Since I'm on AM, they make me come clean my own stuff up. All right, we'll be back right after this.
Your WSFA First Alert Weather Forecast on News Radio 1440.
Sponsored by Blindster. You need new blinds or shades? Blindster.com offers custom-made blinds, shades, and shutters shipped directly to you at prices less than big box retailers. Blindster blinds are easy to install and guaranteed to fit. Don't overpay for new blinds. Shop today and save big. Blindster.com.
Plenty of sunshine for your Monday. Temperatures toasty again, up around 86, 87. We'll have some high clouds this afternoon, but that's about it. The humidity will be lower. For tonight, clear, upper 50s. Plenty of sunshine on Tuesday. Temperatures only around 81. It will turn breezy on Tuesday, and Wednesday and Thursday are also breezy. And there will be a little more cloud cover Wednesday and Thursday ahead of a chance of some light rain Friday into Saturday.
That's your First Alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. Right now, we're looking good. Your Monday kicks off with no major problems or accidents. We checked with the surrounding counties. They're clear. Interstate systems moving into the Tri-County area from Clanton, Auburn, and Greenville. No problems on 231 south out of Wetumpka, north out of Troy. Keep listening. We'll keep you posted. The Toyota factory is cranking them out again, and the truckloads of Toyotas are arriving every day at Reinhardt Toyota, and they're excited. Stop by Reinhardt Toyota on the East Boulevard. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, this is Major Delay.
You love your car, yes? But why are you not loving it with those tires that carry you and your family everywhere? Let Chico's Auto Pros show some love with our super savings on tires. Chico's Auto Pros.
In the world of collegiate esports, one person can make all the difference. This has been proven time and time again, as Boise State head coach Doc Haskell was recently awarded the Collegiate Director of the Year at the Esports U Summit. This isn't the first time that Haskell has won the award, as he won Esports Director of the Year from the Esports Awards in 2021. Haskell has set the best possible example for several years now, and following his model will take hundreds of collegiate programs to the next level.
The latest esports and gaming news. Find it online at checkpointxp.com.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to say
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
From cutting grass to planting fields, you need the right equipment from a team you can count on. At SunSouth, we have 21 locations ready to serve you with the quality John Deere equipment to manage your property faster, more efficiently, and more affordably. Like the John Deere 1025R tractor with loader starting at only $255 a month. So why wait another season to do more? Find the John Deere that's right for you. Come see us at Sun South. Equipment for those that do.
Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details. Expires September 30th, 2022.
Ad paid for by the Sentinel Group. Attention Marines, military personnel, families, and contractors who were stationed at Camp Lejeune. Were you present at Camp Lejeune between August 1953 and December of 1987? You may be entitled to significant compensation. For nearly 34 years, those in the Marine Corps' base Camp Lejeune were exposed to contaminated drinking water, resulting in devastating injuries, including several forms of cancer, adverse birth outcomes, Parkinson's disease, and more. North Carolina's procedural laws have prevented victims from getting the justice they deserve, but passage of the Camp Lejeune Justice Act of 2022 would allow you or a loved one to file lawsuits seeking compensation for illnesses and injuries linked to the toxic water. Call today for your free consultation. 800-774-7415. Let our experienced attorneys fight to get you the compensation you deserve, and you pay nothing unless there's a recovery in your favor. Call 800-774-7415. That's 800-774-7415. Again, 800-774-7415.
Hi, I'm Queen Latifah. My mom is stronger than anyone I've ever known. Growing up when life got hard, her strength helped pull us through. Even after her heart failure diagnosis, she remained stronger than ever.
My family's support keeps me strong. Together, we're rising above heart failure.
Heart failure doesn't have to steal your strength. For simple steps you can take to help prevent, improve, or manage heart failure, go to riseabovehf.org.
Join Sean Hannity Sundays at 3 p.m. for the Encore Show.
The Chinese, the Russians don't fear Joe Biden.
On News Radio 1440.
Okay, we are back. You know, I made some cappuccino. Yes, okay. I thought it was cappuccino, but it's cappuccino. Okay. But only sophisticated people drink cappuccino. What?
No.
Okay. Now you might as well come on. And you get those after them all that time. Might as well give me some. Anyway, so the cappuccino, that's for us sophisticated people. You know, I mean, the poor people go to Starbucks. We sophisticated people, we drink cappuccino. So I'm just saying that although my cappuccino this morning went all over the microwave because I, kind of like blew up. I don't know what happened to it. I think I cooked it too long. All right, maybe cooked's not the exactly right word. But anyway, this is the thing I play all the time because I just really love this audio. It's a great day to be alive, and it is a great day to be alive. It's a great day to be alive, to be on top of the ground, and the ground's down on top of you. So enjoy this while I go clean up the rest of my mess in the kitchen. So we'll be back. It is a great day to be alive.
Every morning, my grandmother would wake up at 4:15. And at 4:16, her feet would hit the floor, usually right in front of my face. And that's what would wake me up. But I would lay there and I would pretend like I was still asleep, because me and 4:15 really didn't get along. But grandma would look at the back of my head. I could feel her staring at me. And then finally she would say, "Now, sugar, grandmama know you ain't asleep. You just must go on and get on up and get ready for school." And my grandmother was known for saying things that would kind of make you a little angry because they made so much sense and you couldn't argue with her. Parents, there's things that when you become parents, you start to say to your own kids. Like my grandmother would say, "Now, son, you knew when you laid down there last night that you had to get up this morning. I don't know why every single morning you lay there and act surprised. You ought to be thankful that the Lord saw fit to wake you up in your right mind." But what my grandmother was encouraging me to do is simply to be grateful for the opportunity. In spite of all that I had been through in my life, she just wanted to make sure that I understood the opportunity that I've been given. My life got started, it was a little rough. It was a little rough start. I was born 2 months premature. My mother was walking up a flight of stairs, and she didn't know this at the time, but a woman she had an argument with earlier was standing above her holding a pot of boiling water. As my mom made her way up those stairs, that woman dumped that water onto my mom and sent her tumbling down the stairs and into premature labor. She received third-degree burns to over 25% of her body. And when we were finally allowed to leave the hospital, as you can imagine, my mom was in a great deal of pain. Those burners just barely missed her face and covered most of the front of her body. So when we got home,
she began taking a heavy sedative, pain medication to help her recover. When she took that medication, it was very difficult for her to watch me, so I would bounce around a lot. I'd stay with my mom for a little bit, and then I'd go stay with grandma, and I'd stay with some neighbors, aunties, and then back to my mother's house. I did that for the first 3 years of my life. I was 3 years old, I was back at my mom's house, and I got into her purse, I found that medication, I swallowed everything in the bottle. When they found me, they rushed me to the hospital, and my heart would stop, and eventually I went into a coma. But because of that accident, because of that incident, the state of California, they did an investigation. And the conclusion that they came to was that it wasn't an accident. They removed me from my mother's home, made a ward of the state, and eventually I went into the foster care system. Shortly after I arrived to one of my foster homes, my foster mom, her name was Miss Alexander. Miss Alexander began locking me inside the closet in the library. She'd open the closet door, she'd kick me, hit me with a stick or a strap or whatever she had. It was while I was in that foster home that I was sexually abused for the first time in my life. Oftentimes people ask, if that has to be the worst thing that could happen to someone. I have scars on my body that you can't see. I have a burn here on my hand that she put there with an iron. But all that pain went away. The worst thing that Mrs. Alexander would do is she would open the closet door, she would stand over me, and she would say, "You're stupid, you ain't gonna never amount to nothing." And that hurt me more than any of the physical kicks or the physical pain because I believed it for a long time. I believed that I would never amount to anything, just like she said. I didn't know this at the time, I found out a little bit later, but my grandmother, my hero, she had started going back and forth to court, trying to prove that she could take care of an active, handsome little boy. And eventually the state of California, they granted her full custody of me. And I'll never forget standing on Miss Alexander's front porch waiting. She had my little belongings, everything that I had. I remember standing there, and it may have only been a half an hour, but it felt like an eternity, and I can remember thinking maybe no one's coming. But after a while, at the end of the block, I see the ugliest car I've ever seen in my life. And the car pulls up right in front of the porch, and I remember all I could see are these two big glasses, bifocals. And I found out later that Grandma had glaucoma, she wasn't even supposed to be driving. But she gets out of that big car, and she's got on this white floppy hat with this, it was a flower right there in the middle. And I remember she had on this long white dress that came all the way down to her ankles. And I found out later that, that was Grandma's Sunday best. It was an outfit that she only reserved for special occasions. And I can remember for once in my life feeling like I was on a special occasion. I remember jumping into Grandma's arms and squeezing her, and I remember her whispering and saying to me, "Everything's okay. You're family." And everything was okay, just like Grandmother said. And I had a lot to look forward to. I found out that my mom was going to court trying to prove that she could take care of me. And I can remember sitting there with my mother, and we talk, and we had a lot of different conversations. One thing I can remember saying, "Mama, one day when I get big, I'm gonna buy you a nice house with a fireplace." I said, "Mama, one day I'm gonna buy you a nice car." Not like Grandma, so get you a nice one. But the truth is, I just really wanted to become a family again, and that's what I look forward to. When I was 12 years old, I was asleep on my grandmother's floor. It was about 4 o'clock in the morning. We get a knock on the door. It was my mom's roommate. Miss Howell, come quick." Miss Howell was my grandma. She said, "Come quick, it's Ruth." Ruth was my mom. She said, "I can't wake her up. I think she's dead." And I can remember laying on that floor, kind of wishing hoping that it was maybe a dream. But it wasn't. And that's how I found out that all the hopes and dreams and things that I had to look forward to weren't going to happen. I became very angry. I became confused. I was hurt. I didn't really understand what was happening. I started acting out, hanging out with wrong people, breaking into houses, started stealing cars. I can remember not really caring what happened to me. I continued that behavior until I was 19. When I was 19, I was found myself standing in front of a judge. I was handcuffed. I had a chain around my waist, and my handcuffs were attached to that chain. The judge looked at me and said, "The state of California sentences you to 15 years in prison for armed robbery and assault." That day, when that door closed behind me for the first time as a convicted felon. I remember standing in that empty cell. I remember my knees started to get weak and they started to shake uncontrollably. I collapsed and I fell to the floor. I just started crying alone. I can remember hearing voices. I heard the voice of my foster mom saying, "You're stupid, you will never amount to nothing." I heard the voice of family members and friends of family that said that boy's gonna end up just like his father. My father was a criminal, he died in prison. I can remember laying there thinking to myself that this is where I'm gonna die. But here's what happened that would change my life. Shortly after I arrived to that prison, there was an educator there. His name was Charles Lyles, 6'3", ex-Marine. And I don't know what it was about me, but every time he saw me, he said, "Hey, Mr. Humphrey." And he had this big smile on his face, a smile that my kids would say, "That's creepy." But he smiled and he said, "Hey, Mr. Humphrey, how you doing?" He always called me Mr. Humphrey. He gave me that respect. He walked into my cell. He looked at me and he said, "Mr. Humphrey," he says, "prison doesn't have to be your life." He says, "You can get out of here and you can do great things." He started to walk away, and before he walked out of my cell, he turned around one last time. He says, "Mr. Humphrey?" I said, "Yes, sir." He says, "I believe in you." He walked out of my cell. And if he had continued to stand there, he would have seen the tears running down my face because no one had ever said that to me. But I remember thinking to myself, I'm going to make some changes, and I'm going to change my life. And a little over 4 years after the day I originally collapsed and fell to the floor, I walked out of that prison on my own. That was over 18 years ago. I've never been back other than to mentor and help other people. But here's what I know. I know that when you've had a rough life, when you feel unwanted, I know that when you have hopes and dreams and when you have things that you can look forward to, and when you have people in place that support you and push you, I know that that gives you a reason to live. It is a great day to be alive. And that's something that I haven't always said, but now it's something that I say to myself every single day at some point. If I'm having a great day or a bad day, that's something that I say. But what I also understand is that what my grandmother was thanking her higher power for each and every day was for the opportunity that she'd been given. And she never missed an opportunity to tell anyone that would listen, especially me, it's a great day to be alive.
It is a great day to be alive. I think we should say that every morning, without exception. No matter what the day brings, it is still a great day to be alive. Beats the alternative. And remember what I tell you, no such thing as bad days. The only bad things that happen in the day. The only bad day you got is the one you miss. Anyway, good morning to you. It's time to rise and shine. Now, you know what time it is? It's time for lessons of life. That's right. These are the things we learn by living. You can hear about them. You know, you can hear about these things, but you don't learn them until you live them. And this is what we try to get across to people Monday through Friday on our lessons of life thing. And again, if you have some lessons of life that you've learned along the way, you want to submit them to the show, I'd love to have them because I'm not the only person that lived. Matter of fact, in the whole big schism of things, I'm really pretty insignificant. However, let us, so you can send it to my email, elkman0557@gmail. You can send them to that, and or you can text me, 241-9998. I don't need long lessons, just short lessons of things that you've learned along the way. Good morning to you. It is time, though, for word of the day and lesson of life. Now, let me make sure I make this big enough so I can actually read it, since I don't have to go to the eye doctor until sometime in next couple of months or so. Cataract surgery, man. I know. You know you're getting old. When you hear the word cataract, you know you're getting old. But I would imagine maybe some people young get cataracts too. I don't know. Anyway, good morning to you. It is September the 26th. It is the 269th day of the year. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, there are only 96 days left in this year. Okay, only 96. And thank God and pray for God that we make it through all 96 of them. Because, you know, you never can tell. One of the lessons of life last week was every time you take a breath, somebody takes their last. So there's nothing that's guaranteed to anybody. Okay. Now, word of the day. Now, this is a word that I run into a lot on this show, on every show. Okay, it's a word. The word is incoherent. Okay, incoherent. Now you know the last part there is rent, so we understand what that means. Incoherent. Okay, that means, here's what it means: without logical or meaningful connection, disjointed, rambling. Okay, and that's what happens sometimes when we have these conversations on the radio about things. You know, some of you come across as incoherent, and those are the ones I got to hang up on sometimes because it's rambling. It just doesn't make sense. You got to figure out a way to put it all together quickly. Okay, quickly. Now I've got to tell you something. If you want to always get on the air on talk radio, okay, you got to be able to say what you need to say in about a minute. Okay, so put it all together in about a minute, no more than 2 minutes. Then anything that goes over that, people start to get bored with you. I'm just gonna tell you. So think about what you want to say before we put you on the air. Get it out, and so people have time to cogitate on it and think about it. Okay, I'm just saying. So don't go rambling. Okay, don't be incoherent. There's a couple of callers who are pretty much incoherent sometimes when they call. 6:49 in the morning. If you got to be there about 7 o'clock, you got about 10 minutes by which to arrive. Again, the word of the day is incoherent, which means without logical or meaningful connection, disjointed. Okay, like we talking about grits, right? We talking about grits, and now you want to bring and come say, I need to fix my car. Really? I mean, where'd that come from? Like the show sometimes, we'll be on a issue, and then you'll call with an issue that has nothing to do with the issue that we're talking about. And that happens a lot. And I let it go sometimes because I do appreciate your patronage. I do appreciate your support, but come on, let's not be incoherent. Okay, let's not ramble, and always let's connect to what we're talking about. And if you're not going to connect to what we're talking about, well, give me a heads up. Say, this is not what you're talking about, but okay. Then I have the choice at that point to either keep you on or let you go. I'm just saying. So if you're going to be disjointed, let me know it's coming. That's all I'm asking you to do. All right. Now here's something that's important. Over the weekend, I did something I said I wasn't ever going to do. I did something I said I wasn't ever going to do. But I'll tell you about that next hour. But I did something I said I wasn't going to do, and I did it. Just go to show you that I will change my mind if it's reasonable. I did it, and I'll have some observations about what I did over the weekend that I kept telling everybody for 2 years I would not do. But sometimes brother got to change his mind. I don't know who's called on the phone. We're not taking any calls right now. I'm not going to have any time to take any calls. So whatever you got to say, you got to say it next hour. Okay. If you got to go to work, that's good. That means you got a job. Anyway, life lesson. Now this has something to do with what I did yesterday. I'll tell you about that next hour. But this statement has something to do with what I did yesterday that I kept saying I would not do. You can't go back. You cannot go back and change the beginning. But it is highly, highly probable, starting right now, you have the ability to change the ending in your life. Let me say that one more time. You cannot go back and change the beginning of your life. But it is highly probable that starting right now, today, this minute, you have the ability to change your ending. Okay? I want you to think about that for a second. There are lots of people who stay stuck in the past. To say, not that the past does not matter. It does. Okay? I never said it didn't matter. But to stay there, to stay stuck there, you don't get any place. Okay? You can't do anything about yesterday. It was, like the young folks said, it is what it is. In the past, it was what it was. Okay, can't change it. There's no way even Superman couldn't change it. Okay, you can take the Earth backwards a little bit, and you think theoretically that may change yesterday, but it won't. You're just going to relive it. Okay, so it is highly probable that starting right now, this second, that you have the ability to change your own ending. So remember that. All right. It is September the 26th. It is the 269th day. There are 96 days left in this year. It was on this day in 1789, Thomas Jefferson was confirmed by the Senate to be the first United States Secretary of State. John Jay, the first Chief Justice. Edmund Randolph, the first Attorney General. 1777, British troops occupied Philadelphia during the American Revolution. I'll get to that later on. 1892, on this day, John Philip Sousa, the newly formed band, and his newly performed publicly for the first time at Stillman Music Hall in Plainville, New Jersey. The year was 1907. New Zealand went, well, from being a colony to a dominion within the British Empire. You know, the British really did think they owned the world, didn't they? I mean, they really did think that. I come think about it, I think some of them still think they own it. 1955, following word that President Eisenhower had suffered a heart attack, New York Stock Exchange saw its worst price decline since 1929. In 1960, on this day, the first ever debate between presidential nominees took place as Democrat John F. Kennedy and Republican Richard M. Nixon faced off before a national TV audience in Chi-Town, otherwise known as Chirac, otherwise known as Chicago. In 1964, the situation comedy Gilligan's Island premiered on CBS TV. And actually, for a dumb movie, it was kind of fun to watch. 1977, Sir Freddie Laker began his cut-rate SkyTrain service from London to New York. The carrier went out of business, of course, in 1982. Well, I guess you cut those rates a little bit too low. The year was 1986. William H. Rehnquist was sworn in as the 16th Chief Justice of the United States, while Anton Scalia joined the Supreme Court as its 103rd member. 1990 was the year the Motion Picture Association of America announced it had created a new rating called NC November Charlie 17 to replace the X rating. 1991, 4 men and 4 women began a 2-year stay inside a sealed-off structure in Oracle, Arizona, called Biosphere. They emerged from the Biosphere in 1993. That was a colossal waste of time. Okay, I'll tell you about that one of these days. I looked it up, did research on that. It didn't do all the things that they said it was going to do. First of all, they couldn't really produce their own water. It's a long story. 1996, President Clinton signed a bill ensuring 2-day hospital stays for new mothers and their babies. I mean, that makes sense. You know, just had a baby. It shouldn't put you out and use the bed right away. I mean, come on. I mean, I never had a baby. I don't really know what that's like. But to have some of that bed come off in you, you know, you need some time. You know, that's a tough job. Now that's one job that no man will ever know. Not even the ones who think they're women. Okay, I'm just saying. 2003, President George W. Bush and Russian President Vladimir Putin opened a 2-day summit at Camp David. And it was 13 years ago that film director Roman Polanski was arrested at Swiss police on an international warrant as he arrived in Zurich and to receive a Lifetime Achievement Award from the film festival. He had fled the United States in 1978, a year after pleading guilty to unlawful sexual intricacies with a 13-year-old girl. Polanski spent 2 months in a Swiss jail, served 7 months of house arrest before Switzerland's government decided against extraditing him to the United States of America. Pope Benedict XIV began a 3-day pilgrimage in Czechoslovakia, or the Czech Republic. Okay, 8 years ago, fire broke out in the basement of suburban Chicago Air Control Center, temporarily halting operation at O'Hare Midway Airport. Don't know what happened to that, but it happened. All right, and those are some of the things some of the things that happened on this day. All right. All right. It's time to go to a break. We'll come back. Uno momento, uno, dos, tres, cuatro momento. Okay, so you guys hang loose, and we shall hopefully return if the good Lord says the same. And what did I do yesterday that I swore for 2 years I would not do? Okay. You have a right to know. I mean, I work for you, so I'll tell you. When I come back, I'll tell you. I will. I'll tell you what I did. And you know what? I'm kind of glad that I actually did it. It gave me a different perspective. We'll be back.
WSFA 12 News Update on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, I'm Jasmine Williams with WSFA 12 News. Here's what's happening. The Alabama Department of Corrections released new information about the treatment given to an inmate at the Elmore Correctional Facility. Thousands of people have shared images of 32-year-old Costello Vaughn, who appears to be sick and frail, and his family is begging for medical attention. The ADOC tells WSFA in part that Vaughn has, quote, received appropriate medical.
There's a difference in covering for a brother and cleaning up for a brother.
I would have did it for you.
No, you would.
Yes, I would. I knew if you left a mess.
You would have known it was me.
Right. I would.
I know it was you.
But I knew that if you left it, you had something to do. I know you wouldn't just leave it. So come on, brother.
After spending months in Russia,
I had to hurry back. I didn't know.
Army and volunteers.
I mean, especially.
I'm Jasmine Williams with WSFA and these.
Well, I didn't think it was going to boil.
WLWI-AM, the home of the Ben Shapiro Show, and heard on 95.1 HD3 FM, Montgomery, the Cumulus Media Station.
This is the CBS World News Roundup, sponsored by Rocket Mortgage.
I'm Stacey Lynn in Washington. It's windy and rainy in Cuba, where Hurricane Ian is right now on a path to Florida. Meteorologist David Parkinson on what areas could be hit hardest.
Landfall could happen in the Big Bend. It could happen in the Tampa Bay area if it slows down and waits for 24 or 36 hours off the shore. All of those worst impacts will be happening in the Tampa area.
The last major hurricane to hit Florida was Michael back in 2018. Cleanup is underway in eastern Canada, where Fiona wreaked havoc over the weekend. Tim Houston is the premier of hard-hit Nova Scotia.
Certainly, this is a historic storm for this province. There's no question about that. The damage is significant.
The storm swept away whole houses and bridges. Hundreds of thousands are still in the dark. Russian President Putin is threatening to use nuclear weapons. Is he bluffing? Here's CBS's Cammie McCormick.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken told 60 Minutes that it's unclear if anyone would challenge Russian President Vladimir Putin if he decides to launch a nuclear weapon.
They have a chain of command, whether it works or not, to be seen.
He called it the Achilles heel of autocracies anywhere.
There is usually not anyone who has the capacity or the will to speak truth to power.
That, he says, is part of the reason that Putin finds himself in the situation he's in.
This week, the January 6th committee will resume public hearings. Denver Riggleman is a former Republican congressman who was in charge of looking at digital records related to the attack, like phone calls. He told 60 Minutes the White House switchboard connected to one of the rioters' phones the day of the insurrection.
You know who both ends of that call. I only know one end of that call. I don't know the White House end.
There's a space experiment going down tonight. NASA's going to try to crash a spaceship into an asteroid. CBS News space consultant Bill Harwood.
It's a very small change, but it's a proof of concept. They want to prove that you have the ability to deflect an asteroid if they ever spot one heading toward Earth on a collision course.
By the way, you can watch. NASA is live streaming it. Did you check out a movie this weekend? Here's our Matt Piper.
The off-screen drama did not stand a chance for an on-screen win at the box office for Don't Worry, Darling.
Not everyone gets this opportunity.
The Olivia Wilde-directed movie took in more than $19 million this weekend. Some of the drama, that star Florence Pugh and Wilde did not get along, and whether Harry Styles spit on co-star Chris Pine earlier this month at the Venice Film Festival.
If you're wondering how a movie from 2009 would do on the big screen today, the re-released Avatar brought in $10 million. This is CBS News.
This hour's newscast is presented by Rocket Mortgage. When you need cash out of your home and a simple way to get it, Rocket can.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender by Norton is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. 800-401-6681.
This year's Super Bowl halftime performer will be...
It's official. Rihanna will host the Super Bowl halftime show next year in Arizona. The singer confirmed the news by posting an image of her hand holding up a football on Instagram. And the NFL's getting in on the fun, too. It's changed several social media bios to the National Fenty League. Fenty is Rihanna's multi-million-dollar company. And fans are also buzzing online because the upcoming show could mean new music is finally on the way. Rihanna hasn't put out a new album since 2016. The Super Bowl set for February 12th. Monica Ricks, CBS News.
You can now get your wedding dress at Walmart. Eloquii is a plus-size fashion company that Walmart bought back in 2018. It just unveiled a bridal collection. The dresses come in real women's sizes, 14 to 28, and being sold at real women prices. Some are as low as $89. Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
At Tennessee Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, we understand the purchase of a new vehicle is one of the largest purchases you'll make. For over 35 years, thousands of customers have trusted us as their choice. Our small-town laid-back friendly feel gives you a more personal experience with less hassle. During our Jeep Adventure Days, let our professional sales staff assist you with your new vehicle purchase. Whether you're tailgating or riding the roads, the all-new Grand Wagoneer is here and ready for your next grand adventure. TennesseeAutomotive.com. Drive a little, save a lot.
MyPillow is having their biggest bed sheet sale ever. The MyPillow Percale sheets are available in a variety of colors, and all sizes are on sale. For example, the queen size, regular price $89.98, now only $39.98 with your promo code. Order now, as there's a very limited supply. The MyPillow Percale sheets are breathable and have a cool, crisp feel. They have deep pockets to fit over any mattress. These come with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. Go to MyPillow.com and click on the radio listener square and use promo code Westwood to receive the MyPillow Percale sheets for as low as $29.98 now, because when they're gone, they're gone. Or call 800-653-7485 and use promo code Westwood.
He's smart, witty, and fast on the draw. It's Mark Levin this afternoon at 5 p.m. on News Radio 1440.
And good morning, everybody. First of all, let me tell you about one of our sponsors of our show. Great people over there on Gun Road. And who am I talking about? None other than JL Lane Truck and Auto. JL Lane Truck and Auto.com. Go to the website, look at the online inventory. You can check it out. And here's the good thing about those guys. You don't have to worry about credit, all that stuff. You can buy there, you can pay there, and you don't have to worry about kissing the ring of the credit bureau, okay? Just go to the man, talk to him, tell him your story. They're not worried about your past. They're worried about your future and your present, okay? Now, all of the cars have been cleaned and cleared of all known issues, and they have passed a vigorous and rigorous inspection process. So if you're ready to ride, go to 208 Gun Road, or you can go to JLLaneTruckandAuto.com and check out the inventory online. And my friends, you can be riding this afternoon. End of the month's coming up. Everybody's got a little change on them. So I think, now's the time to get one. Okay, so call 272-4313, 272-4313, and ask for Steve. Now, if Steve doesn't have it, then Steve will get it for you. But you got to give him a call. Okay, you got to give him a call. Okay, so again, we don't worry about your past, worry about your future and your present. Okay, JL Lane Truck and Auto, JLLaneTruckandAuto.com. They're located at 208 Gun Road. Again, call them again, 272-4313. They say in ready, you got to say it like 3 times. So 272-4313. It's 7:08 in the morning. It's time to rise and shine and get your head out of bed this morning. You feel motivated. If you woke up alive this morning, you should be celebrating. Okay, because this day, like all the days of old, was never promised. All right, then. Good morning to you. All right. Now, what did I do? What did I do that I said I wouldn't do? Okay. Said I wasn't going for 2 years. Oh no, I'm not doing that. Okay. I'm just not going to do it. Okay. But I did it. And I'm glad I did. I tell you that in a couple seconds, see who this is, because whoever this has been calling forever. Good morning. Who's this? Like I didn't know. I'm doing fine. All right, Ed, I'm just so touched that you really that concerned about me. Really, I'm touched. I really am. Okay, I really am. Anyway, I love somebody sent me this, and I have to share this with you. I got to share this with you because it is so true. We live in a society where homosexuals lecture us on morals, transvestites lecture us on human biology, baby killers lecture us on human rights, and socialists lecture us on economics. That's where we are in America. I gotta say it one more time. In America, we live in a society where homosexuals lecture us on morals, transvestites lecture us on human biology, baby killers lecture us on human rights, and socialists lecture us on economics. What a interesting perspective in America today, because it is. America's an interesting place to live these days. Anyway, good morning to you. So here's what I did over the weekend. For about 2 years now, a year and a half, however long it's been going on, I have refused to go to the Memorial Peace and Justice, EJI's thing, and that place up there on is it on Holt Street or more, wherever it is up there? I refuse to go to that. So yesterday, I went to both places. I went to the Peace and Justice thing downtown, and then if you go and plus they give you a free. If you buy the ticket, you get a ride to the other place, which is and it's kind of sobering. It's kind of sobering. One of the reasons why I didn't want to go, because I was afraid that I'd see people that were angered by what they saw. And I don't know if that anger will lend itself to healing in America, healing in Montgomery, healing in the South. And there are some people who will come over there just to silently, God, is there a word that I could use for this? There are some people that I have no doubt that go over there to silently celebrate that era. But I sat there and I watched the presentations. I watched a bunch of movies. When you go in the door, and I think everybody should go now, not because of me, but because I did change my perspective. When you go into the door over there, there's a video of water, symbolizing the whole transit thing. But for a guy who used to be stationed at Pearl Harbor and be on the ocean an awful lot, yesterday when I looked at that water, it is a fantastic presentation. I looked at it, almost felt as though I was going to drown. Looking at the 3D image, it puts you. I'm putting it this way: it put you in the midst of that water. It reminded you almost like you were there, and it was fantastic. But let me tell you one of the things that impressed me most. I actually saw white people over there crying because they had no idea, none whatsoever. And again, I think our schools do a bad job of teaching Black kids. We get that 1 month and I'm good. I guess 1 month's better than no months at all. But I have been hesitant to go over there because I just didn't want to see what I already knew. But I will tell you, what you think you knew is exactly that. There are lots of things that happened during that era. And to find out, I knew in Indiana, there were places where they would actually put out newspapers, and they would have picnics watching people swing. And again, it happened. There were some evil people who for some reason thought that they had the right to treat another human being that way. You can't say anything else but evil. They were evil son of a gun. But while I was sitting in there also, I said to myself, well, it's kind of like church. You may not be where you want to be, but thank God we are not where we used to be. So as I sat there, and some people, they were crying. They did not know to the extent that people in America, now we're not talking about in Dachau, we're not talking about in Auschwitz or any place like that. We're talking about in America. They had no idea that happened. And on the other hand, so I'm going to suggest that people take an opportunity to go over there and look at it. But let me tell you what really got to me. There's a room over there with the known people who purposely went in harm's way to secure whatever rights that were necessary at that time. Known people, 60s, 1800s, 60s, 1800s, 1900s, people, a wall of honor. A wall of honor, as it were. There are hundreds of people up there. A wall, and these are the people that were known. Now, these are people that I heard about. Some of them I heard about, some of them I didn't know. And you know what struck me? Well, most of the people on that wall, they weren't that old when they died. They weren't that old. 31 years old, 20-something years old. Some lived to be 100, but most were not that old. And I'm reminded of what Ronald Reagan said about the World War II about the World War II generation of men. He said they lost 2 lives. They lost the lives that they would have had, and they lost the lives they had. A lot of those people on that wall of honor over there at the, and I don't want to get the name wrong. It's called the Peace and Justice. Anyways, EGI thing. It's right downtown Montgomery. I don't want to get it wrong. Somebody text me and tell me what the actual name is. I was so intrigued by it yesterday. I know that there are a lot of things, but a lot of people, known and mostly unknown, white and black people, went in harm's way. And there's some white people on that wall over there, along with all the hundreds of black folks who tried their due diligence to change things. But anyway, so I went over there and I said, that wall of honor. And you know what irked me about the wall is that all of those people who went in harm's way, and we insult them, a lot of us insult them by the way we treat each other. We do. We insult their memory. We desecrate their graves. We desecrate their lives because they fought with everything they had to the last ounce they had in even their lives. When I see young men walk around their pants all down, when I see young men killing each other all the time, they haven't no clue of what people went through. I barely got a clue of what people went through to make sure that we could get the little bit of change that we got. There's a lady last week who went into her child's room because the child hadn't made a noise at all. He was just sitting there, and they thought the child was asleep. But he wasn't asleep. He was dead, a black child. You know why he was dead? Because in another neighborhood, again, a child sleeping in his crib is killed by a straight bullet by people shooting outside people's homes. A child laying in its bed dies because other people shoot bullets around the cities, and a poor child died. Not ever having a chance to live, not ever having a chance to dream, not ever having a chance to make mistakes and realize them and straighten up. Not one more breath did he get. And he was just a child laying in a bed, killed by the irresponsibility, the ignorance, and the selfishness of people in our communities. And if you go, and so I got to tell you, I believe that the thing that happens over there at that memorial and happens over here at the Peace and Justice, I think that needs to be taught in school. I do. Not to shame anybody, not to blame anybody, because there are people that were to blame, but to let people know that freedom costs money. Excuse me, it costs something. Every right that was fought for, I know how it started, but every right that was fought for, every job that we have, the rich athletes, the rich people, they didn't. I'm gonna go along with Obama on this one. They didn't do that by themselves. I didn't do it by myself. People actually went. You go over there and you look at that wall of honor of people who gave everything they had to fight for just a little bit, just a little bit of respect. And I don't believe, I really don't believe that we would have the carnage going on in our communities that we do. But I just mean, and I'm glad I went, because I kept saying I'm not going, because I knew what was going to happen to me. I knew I didn't want to see it. I did not want to see black folks been hung from trees, hung from scaffolds, misused, abused, and that's exactly what I saw. But I think you have to, again, I look at it, is the glass half empty or is the glass half full? I have to be optimistic and say that the glass is half full. Okay, I have to be, because without optimism, it's a hard life. You know, kind of like without hope, it's a hard life. So I'm going to suggest that people go, and it's not the $2 fits and whatever it wasn't very much. And I think I really think that all of our kids in our public schools need to take the tour over there. Not to blame anybody for anything. It was what it was. But to understand that whatever progress that has been made in our relationships between each other, black and white, the relationship that has been made at a cost to black people, a lot of us, and white people. So it's been paid, and to make our neighborhoods dangerous. It was enough that back in the day, our neighborhoods were dangerous enough with people who didn't look like us. But now today, our neighborhoods are dangerous because of people who look like us. And so I believe that if they had an opportunity, I think before you send them to jail, you need to send them over there and let them see who paid the cost. Who paid the cost for whatever freedom, whatever benefits that we have? Who paid the cost? A lot of it. And over that place, I mean, they got a wall of honor over there that just it's ominous when you walk in there and actually put faces with the people you've heard about all your lives. So I got to tell you, I think it is a place that every school, every public school child should go through and go look at, and look at what happened. Look what some people paid so you could have a shot at life. Okay, maybe you won't grow up and be a thug. Maybe you won't grow up and want to kill one another. You know, I don't know. Maybe you'll have more respect for yourself and you don't walk around looking like idiots and shoot one another with your pants all down. And one of the most significant things that I saw, you know, realize even as poor as we were back in the day, as poor as we were, we tried to look like gentlemen and ladies when we were out in public. Today, I don't know what the hell we would look like, some of us. So I don't know. But anyway, so I'm glad I went, and I can only suggest that people, if you have an opportunity to take your class over there, I would do that. Okay, 7:26 in the morning. We'll come back with your calls, your comments, whatever the case may be, and we got a lot of things to talk about also. But I think our superintendent of schools, and I will say one thing: people who are not from here, the South, and it didn't just happen in the South, but 85% of all the lynchings and all that stuff, the bad treatment came from down the South. I think that the schools, the superintendent of schools should make it, at least give people the option of go over there and look at the displays and look at what we came through. Maybe we won't take that education for granted. Maybe we'll realize that somebody paid one hell of a price for it. One hell of a price. They lost two lives. The ones they had and the ones they would have had. They did it for us. We'll be back.
Your WSFA First Alert Weather Forecast on News Radio 1440.
Sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples Print and Marketing Services helps small businesses create bold signs to make big impressions. Right now, get $10 off custom printed signs, banners, and posters when you spend $50 or more. Offer ends 10/1. Visit staples.com/thisisyoursign for details. This is your sign to print big at Staples.
Plenty of sunshine for your Monday. Temperatures toasty again, up around 86, 87. We'll have some high clouds this afternoon, but that's about it. The humidity will be lower. For tonight, clear, upper 50s. Plenty of sunshine on Tuesday. Temperatures only around 81. It will turn breezy on Tuesday, and Wednesday and Thursday are also breezy. And there will be a little more cloud cover Wednesday and Thursday, ahead of a chance of some light rain Friday into Saturday. That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. We've got an accident, 2200 block of the East Boulevard, so please use caution there. Outside of that, we're looking good. Nothing's been reported by the authorities that would send you on an alternate route. Get ready for football and fall at Midtown Plaza. Have your eyebrows threaded and Zeke ready. Shop Ross Dress for Less, Dollar Tree, and more. Midtown Plaza and Street off of I-85, another great McClinton and Company development. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch traffic, this is Major Delay.
You love your car, yes. But why are you not loving it with those tires that carry you and your family everywhere? Let Chico's Auto Pros show some love with our super savings on tires. Chico's Auto Pros.
Listen to News Radio 1440 at work. NewsRadio1440.com. At home through your Alexa or Google smart home device. Depend on it. News Radio 1440.
Here's a message just for the attorneys out there. So you passed the bar, joined a firm,
Oh, I never feel the same without love.
Lexicon can help. Lexicon is a legal technology provider with over a decade of experience streamlining administrative tasks like timekeeping, billing, and more, so you can focus on maximizing billable hours and increasing client satisfaction. Call 855-4-LEXICON or visit lexiconservices.com/hello to learn more.
We tried Dynamite for gut health and immune support, and after a couple of weeks, our little guest members had the shinier and a lot more shedding and sealing inside the old cell.
My dog smelled and scratched constantly. We bathed, sprayed her, took her to the vet, but no results. Now, a little Dynamite in her food helps Bella keep her beautiful coat with no scratching or smell.
Get 10% off your next order of Dynamite nutritional supplements for dogs at Dynamite.com.
Healthier with every bite. Over 1 million pets helped with Dynamite.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Come and get it.
In just 2 minutes, an Oral-B electric toothbrush can change your mind about what a toothbrush can do. In just 2 minutes a day, its dentist-inspired round brush head cleans 100% better than a regular brush. And in less time than the average commercial break, you can get that purifying, clean feeling like you just left the dentist. Not bad for just a couple of minutes. Oral-B. Brush like a pro.
Come and get it.
Ben here with Just Blinds in Prattville. On behalf of the Myers family and our entire team here at Just Blinds, we want to sincerely thank you for selecting Just Blinds as the best, your #1 choice for blinds, shutters, and drapes in Central Alabama. Just Blinds has been delivering on our family's commitment to provide quality window treatments at affordable prices and to deliver the absolute best in customer service before, during, and after the sale for over 35 years. Please visit us online at gojustblinds.com.
Hey folks, this is Major Delay. Not too long ago, I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Now, few things are as important as the health of my feet. First order of business, have your feet checked by a podiatrist. Without hesitation, I told my doctor, I'm going to Dr. Brian Kelly with Greenville Foot Care. I went to his clinic on Winton 1 behind Baptist East. The staff was friendly and professional. I was in and out in less than 30 minutes. And in that short span of time, with a few simple observations, Dr. Kelly shed light on 2 issues I had with my feet and ankles all my life. I was amazed. Not only was the checkup quick and easy, I felt comfortable and informed. He even recommended certain running shoes that better fit the structure of my feet. And your insurance even pays for annual visits to a podiatrist to better your health. No referral necessary for most insurance. Hey, walk, crawl, limp, roll, any way you can get there, but see Dr. Brian Kelly at Greenville Foot Care. Call for an appointment at 334-265-7585 or check out greenvillefootcare.com.
No hesitation to as to the quality of podiatric services to be performed or as to the expertise of podiatrists performing such services.
Don't miss Sean Hannity.
Biden incoherently adheres
Live this afternoon at 2 p.m. on News Radio 1440.
Never feel the same.
Okay, we're back. Good morning. Yeah, we're talking a little bit about the National Museum of Peace and Justice and the Legacy Museum this morning. For 2 years, I just wouldn't go because I just didn't want to. I did not want to deal with it. But yesterday, somebody talked me into going, so I went. And to my surprise, I didn't react the way that I thought I was going to react. It was inspirational. It was sad. It was, but I think it is a place that a lot of people need to visit to understand. Contrary to probably believe I'm black. You know, listen, you can't look at something like that and know what your mama went through in Mississippi and all that stuff. You know, you got. But I just want us to look at it from a proper perspective. Anyway, good morning. Who's this? Good morning, sir. Mm. Yeah. That is true because I didn't even want to be exposed to it, but I'm glad I kind of did. Yeah. Hmm. Yes. Right. Right. Yeah, because when my sister died of just the pink ribbon didn't mean jack to me. Now every time I see one, I know that represents somebody who's going through it, went through it, or will go through it, and it's touching. So yes. Oh, I would certainly agree. I mean, I went from not wanting to go over there to think that everybody should at least get one shot at it and look at the information that's available to them over there. Yeah, and I tell you something else. The people who work over there, most of them are black, young black African Americans, who are the most professional people. I've had the opportunity to witness at their job, and I'm bunch of a bunch of great kids over there. We won't go there. We won't go there right now. But yeah, yeah, no, not even a little bit. No, no. All right. Yeah, I expect it. Yeah, it was good. It was good stuff. Okay. Yeah, it wasn't surprised. Now they don't. Good morning. Who's this? Good morning. Well, critical race theory, um, theoretically, it sounds interesting, but I'm just saying the politics of it. I don't think they should actually teach CRT until you're probably at a minimum in the 12th grade. Because the problem with CRT that are what I've seen, emotionally we're not detached from not so far past. We're not. We got kids now who don't know, who've never seen a hard day's work, but the minute you show brains that are not mature, this information right here, you have to have the ability, to understand what you see and see. And that's true too. But if we believe, right, but if we, right. But if you believe, right. But if you believe that all white people think that way, even back in those days, all white folks didn't think that way. There were white folks who helped, white folks who died, white folks who called it. Right. So critical race theory would have you think that everybody that wasn't black sometimes, well, and again, I think the 12th, and I think in the 12th grade, you ought to be able to handle that. Your maturity level should be a good, you should be mature enough to set, and certainly college, you'll be able to handle. But well, right. And maybe so, but I'm hoping that they, and I appreciate you calling. I'm hoping that we got smart enough kids to make it through some of that. Good morning. Who's this? Yes. Good morning. Well, I don't know anybody that actually calls me that got attitude against black folks. Okay. I don't know. I haven't heard much of them say anything. Yeah, maybe they're trying to get more information. I don't know. Well, I guess I've been. Yeah. Oh, listen. I guess I've seen so many that just have forgotten manners and I mean, if nothing else, respect was one of the paramount considerations in our communities coming up. You better respect older people. You better respect people. Uh, mm, right. And how do we get there? How did that happen to us? Yeah. Right. Yeah, they did. Hey, listen, I got to take a break. We'll be back. 860-1440. Also, some other news came out over the weekend. We'll get to that next hour, but I just wanted to give my perspective on the EGI, on the what's the name of it? The Legacy Museum. For about a year and a half or so, I just said I wasn't going. Decided to, well, actually, somebody made me go. Somebody made me go to it, and I said, okay, all right, I'll go. I'll go. And my perspective, of course, has changed, and I think everybody should go see it. But anyway, we'll be back after this.
And there will be a little more cloud cover Wednesday and Thursday ahead of a chance of some light rain Friday into Saturday. That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. Is better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. Got an accident, the 2200 block of East Boulevard, so please use caution. You see something else out there giving you trouble with traffic safely, contact us here at the station. Looking at your traffic flow map, traffic slow 85 southbound between Chantilly Parkway and Taylor. That's normal, so please use caution and prepare to slow down there. From a simple patient transport to life and death situations, Haynes Ambulance is there for you both on the ground and in the air. Haynes Ambulance, ready
to the fire.
Back, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch traffic, this is Major Delay.
When it comes to tires, bald ain't so beautiful. It's time for a tire makeover at Chico's Auto Pros. Better price, better experience, guaranteed. 239-9510.
Here's a message just for the attorneys out there. So you passed the bar, joined a firm, or even built your own. Now are you finding out that you're doing more administration than actual law practice? Lexicon can help. Lexicon is a legal technology provider with over a decade of experience streamlining administrative tasks like timekeeping, billing, and more, so you can focus on maximizing billable hours and increasing client satisfaction. Call 855-4-LEXICON or visit lexiconservices.com/go to learn more.
We tried Dynovite for gut health and immune support, and after a couple of weeks, our little gizmo was acting like a puppy again. His coat was shinier, he had a lot less scratching and shedding, and he seemed like his happy old self.
My dog smelled and scratched constantly. We bathed and sprayed her, took her to the vet, but no results. Now, a little Dynovite in her food helps Bella keep her beautiful coat with no scratching or smell.
Get 10% off your next order of Dynovite nutritional supplements for dogs at dynovite.com.
Happier, healthier with every bite. Over 1 million pets helped with Dynovite.
You wash your hands and brush your teeth, but what about your nose? How do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage pulls saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, dirt, and germs, and it's why nose cleaning is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. People try Navage for lots of reasons: sinusitis, allergies, snoring, things that make it hard to breathe through your nose. But over time, they also find that cleaning their nose makes them feel better. A lot better. Nearly 3 million Navage users have written more than 100,000 reviews, averaging 4.7 stars, saying things like, best product I've ever used, and amazing, I love my Navage. That's because Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less. But the biggest payoff is improved health. Here's the key point. Navage is good personal hygiene, and it's going to help you stay healthy. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, Target, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
Here's a message just for the attorneys out there. So you passed the bar, joined a firm, or even built your own. Now are you finding out that you're doing more administration than actual law practice? Lexicon can help. Lexicon is a legal technology provider with over a decade of experience streamlining administrative tasks like timekeeping, billing, and more, so you can focus on maximizing billable hours and increasing client satisfaction. Call 855-4-LEXICON or visit lexiconservices.com/go to learn more.
We tried Dynovite for gut health and immune support, and after a couple of weeks, our little gizmo was acting like a puppy again. His coat was shinier, he had a lot less scratching and shedding, and he seemed like his happy old self.
My dog smelled and scratched constantly. We bathed and sprayed her, took her to the vet, but no results. Now, a little Dynovite in her food helps Bella keep her beautiful coat with no scratching or smell.
Get 10% off your next order of Dynovite nutritional supplements for dogs at dynovite.com.
Happier, healthier with every bite. Over 1 million pets helped with Dynovite.
Telling it like it really is. It's the Dan Bongino Show, weekdays from 11 to 2 on News Radio 1440.
Just sharing my story with you this hour. We're going to go on something else next hour about my hesitancy for the last couple of years not to go to the Legacy Museum. Because I thought it was going to be more of the same political manipulation, people's feelings about the past, but it really wasn't. It was a history from where we were to where we are, and are we where we need to be? Probably not. But are we where we were? No. But it was. But my perspective at least has changed on it. That I think if you have an opportunity to go over there and see that, and it's about from slavery to incarceration. I don't know if incarceration is any better. Now, if you kill people, I understand that, but to put people in jail for years and years and years for some of the things we put people in jail for years and years and years, I just have a. And they got a thing over there where you can actually pick up the telephone and talk to a prisoner in our jails. It's an interesting dynamic to a presentation over there. But they got a wall over there. They got a room with nobody but black and white folks who helped in the civil rights struggle. And names that we've heard about. A lot of folks in Montgomery, names we've heard about, we've never seen. We don't know who they are. They're just names on a piece of paper. But if you go over there to the Legacy Museum at 400 North Court Street, you will see it. It really is something. It really is something else. 860-1440 number here. You want to give us a call? Good morning. Who's this? Yes. I'm doing fine. Well, go ahead.
Yeah, critical race theory should start all the way back to 1492. See, that was the first break from it. When we came over, the Europeans, and I say we because the Africans came too. We might have came in the belly of the ship, but we made the journey, and we're here. And America still to change things. This is the greatest place to be, and we just need to work on it. And places like you went the other day, that just brings it home. We need to know that, and it'll never happen again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I appreciate it. And again, though, one of the things that have often been one of the fears that I had from growing up, again, what do we do with the history? What do we do? Do we become a greater nation and greater people because we've been exposed to it, or do we relegate our attitudes back to the past? What is the purpose of the lesson? I like math. Math teaches you how to add, subtract, divide, and multiply. Now, if I took math and I didn't understand anything about it, and I walked out of the class still just as dumb as I was when I went in, then having the class didn't do me any good. So what is the reason for the history? Why do we teach the lessons of the past? I would hope we would teach the lessons of the past so we could do better in the future. That's what I would hope has been the purpose of EJI and the Legacy Museum and the National Memorial of Just Peace and Justice. I hope that's the purpose of them, and nobody is trying to manipulate us and to separate us more. But after visiting it, I suggest that if you have an opportunity, take a look at it. It's an interesting place, and it's a great place to start the lesson. We'll be back.
Radio 1440.
Good morning, I'm Jasmine Williams at WSFA 12 News. Here's what's happening this Monday. The Alabama Department of Corrections has released new information about the treatment given to an inmate at the Elmore Correctional Facility. Thousands of people have shared images of 32-year-old Costello Don, who appears to be sick and frail, and his family is begging for medical attention. The ADOC tells WSFA in part that Don has, quote, received appropriate medical treatment. An Ozark man, Jeremy Morris, is behind bars involved with the solicitation of children. According to the Dale County Sheriff's Office, Morris allegedly solicited sexual contact with children via an undercover officer. He's since been charged with first-degree rape, sexual abuse of a child, and more. After spending months in Russian captivity, 2 Alabamians are finally home. Alex Drupi and Andy Wynn arrived in Birmingham this weekend. The men were serving with the Ukraine Army as volunteers when they were captured back in June. I'm Jasmine Williams of WSFA, and these are your morning headlines.
News Radio 1440, WLWI AM, the home of Sean Hannity. Also on 95.1 HD3 FM, Montgomery, Alabama. A Cumulus media station.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
I'm Stacey Lynn in Washington. All eyes are on Ian. It's now a Category 1 hurricane gaining strength as it makes a beeline towards Florida. Residents are preparing, and the store shelves are already bare.
I'm trying to get water, but it's not too much at this moment.
CBS's David Parkinson on Ian's path.
It does not matter where the landfall is, and it does not matter if you are in the cone or not. If you are on the eastern side of this storm, it is going to be powerful enough that you will be feeling the impacts of rain, storm surge, and wind, and storm surge is likely to be the biggest threat out of this storm.
Florida Governor DeSantis has declared a state of emergency. President Biden has as well, which authorizes the Department of Homeland Security and FEMA to provide federal assistance. Fiona devastated parts of eastern Canada. The storm picked up houses off their foundations, swept bridges away, and residents are still in shock.
We didn't anticipate so much activity from the sea for us where we're living.
Russian President Putin is threatening to use nuclear weapons, whether he's bluffing or not. Secretary of State Blinken told 60 Minutes a big issue still is.
Part of the reason I think Russia has gotten itself into the mess that it's in is because there is no one in the system to effectively tell Putin he's doing the wrong thing.
13 people are dead after a gunman opened fire at a school in Russia, about 600 miles east of Moscow. Russian investigators say they still don't know the name of the shooter who killed himself after the attack. He had a Nazi symbol on his t-shirt. New details about a pro football legend's involvement in a welfare fraud scandal.
After the state of Mississippi spent millions of dollars in welfare money on retired NFL quarterback Brett Favre's pet project, a volleyball arena at his college alma mater, Favre tried 2 years later to get more money from the state's welfare agency for another sports facility at the University of Southern Mississippi. That's according to new court documents.
And CBS's Jim Crisula. Winona Judd just gave her first interview since her mother Naomi took her own life. She told CBS her mom battled with depression for a long time.
She'd had episodes before and she got better. And that's what I live in, is like, was there anything I should have looked for or should I have known? I didn't.
She says she's starting a new chapter now, launching a tour this week in her mom's memory. It was originally supposed to be a Judd reunion. It will now feature a rotating cast of country stars. Stock futures pointing to a 5th day of losses on Wall Street today. This is CBS News.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Visit libertymutual.com to learn more.
Attention all business owners who rent or lease space, including storage space. Stop wasting your money paying someone else for your space. You can now save a ton of money and own your own building with the incredible sale prices from General Steel. That's right, start saving money every month on renting space from others. Just call 877-25-STEEL to see how General Steel can help you save money. Our 50-year structural warranty buildings are custom designed for your needs and save you a ton of money. Call 877-25-STEEL.
Take it from a successful entrepreneur. If you need to expand or start a new business, you need General Steel.
Great team and the competitive pricing is the reason I went with General Steel.
Call 877-25-STEEL now, and you can get any of our popular quick construction structures, including a 40 by 60 foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building fast and easy. Call 877-25-STEEL. That's 877-257-8335. 877-25-STEEL.
Scary moments for an NFL quarterback.
While it was a win Sunday for the Miami Dolphins on CBS Sports, there are questions surrounding QB Tua Tagovailoa after a head injury left him wobbly on the field.
It's the back of his head.
Though the 24-year-old was cleared when evaluated by a team physician, the NFL Players Association wants to launch a review. Head blows and concussions in the NFL have been shown to be the cause of CTE, which has led to player deaths and debilitating symptoms like depression and memory loss. Matt Piper, CBS News.
So what exercise burns the most calories? You gotta run. According to Healthline, running burns over 800 calories an hour for a 155-pound adult. Jumping ropes up there too. If you can do it for a solid hour, you're looking at 600 or more. But if you're more the nap type, good news. We still burn about 50 calories an hour while we sleep. Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
The 25K Workday Payday. Here's your national keyword to win $100. Text BUCKS, BUCKS, BUCKS to 95819.
I never won anything in the radio before. Wow.
Standard messaging rates apply. Don't text and drive. We'll text back to confirm your entry. If you win, you'll be qualified to win the grand prize of $25,000. It's the 25K Workday Payday on News Radio 1440.
This is Jeff Barenko with Chappie's Deli.
And Mike Costanza with Chappie's Deli.
Mike, let's talk about our Chappie's Deli vinegar slaw.
Oh yeah, I love it. So tasty and good for you. Perfect on any sandwich too.
We get lots of calls from people wanting the recipe.
And just like Coca-Cola, Colonel Sanders, in my age, it's a secret.
Mike, why don't we give out the recipe right now on this commercial?
Jeff, I don't think that's a good idea.
First, you shred cabbage, then on a slicer.
Jeff.
Then you add 1 cup of, a pint of, and a teaspoon of. Hey, what's going on?
Well, that's weird. I knew this thing would come in. Folks, come get your secret recipe slaw at any Chappie's Deli. Berry Hill, Pepper Tree, Baptist South, Prattville, and Auburn.
The City of Montgomery Department of Cultural Affairs is calling all creative minds. The department exists to engage, enlighten, and elevate a diverse, inclusive cultural arts community. They're committed to strengthening and showcasing organizational and individual cultural endeavors in our hometown. To advance this cause, they're seeking individual artists, artisans, advocacy groups, schools, and avid patrons of the arts. If this is you, visit montgomeryal.gov and click on the Cultural Affairs page to register to be part of Montgomery's creative community.
Hey, I'm Jody.
And I'm Casey from American Oak and More.
And the Rusted Furniture Outlet.
We would like to say thank you to everyone in Montgomery, Atalga, and Elmore County for voting us your #1 furniture store in the 2022 Reader's Choice Awards. If you've never shopped with us before,
y'all come see us.
And if you've shopped with us in the past,
y'all come back, you hear?
Remember to check us out on Facebook where we post all of our new items.
You don't pay fake money, don't sell fake wood. Good morning, Alabama. How'd you sleep last night?
You can buy a mattress anywhere, but at Wolf Boys Bedding, we want to make sure you get a good night's sleep. We'll take the time to show you how a mattress is made and what support you can do. Then let you make a decision on what's best for you. Whether you need an inexpensive mattress or a great night's sleep, we have you covered. Shop the Better Sleep Sale and get up to $400 off on Heritage Sleep's homegrown collection.
All down sheets, get a great night's sleep from Wolf Boys Bedding next to American Oak Floor.
Telling it like it really is.
That's the fact, Jack.
It's the Dan Bongino Show, weekdays from 11 to 2 on News Radio 1440.
And we're back. Good morning, everybody. Hope this day finds you well. It is a Monday morning. One of the Mondays, I came in this morning, some of the stuff wasn't working right, and of course it's a Monday. That always happens. Although Saturday, I came in here and I thought maybe I had fixed everything yesterday, but I think I screwed up more things than I actually fixed. So that's the break sometimes. Anyway, good morning to you. It's time to rise and shine this morning. And again, it is another day that you can thank God that you're on top of the ground and the ground's not on top of you. That's a reason for celebration right there. All right, then. Good morning to you. There was something hit me in the paper the other day. And I want to get the public's opinion on this particular issue here, because when you hear about this, you think that, well, that's good stuff right there. That's good stuff. But as you peel back the onion on this particular issue, it lends itself to an unfairness that is unlike few unfairnesses that there are in our judicial system. And I not talking about the young man over in DOC. And listen, the statement they put out the other day in the newspaper, what a bunch of crock. People at DOC are responsible for the people that are in their charge. They're responsible. I don't hear the excuses. If somebody gets killed in DOC, that's DOC's fault, because they have failed to safeguard the lives of the people. I don't want to hear anything about, it's prison. That it is. And if you don't think that being in prison is enough punishment, then try going for about a week. Okay, it's a tough life. To have your freedom taken is punishment. Okay, and I understand his record. I understand the young man had a record. Okay, so do we all. But you still, and one of the things about the paper, it said, well, somebody saw him walking around. That's a bunch of Bravo Sierra. I think the public has a right to see him walking around. Film it. Okay, prove to me that young man is able to walk. Prove to me that he's actually alive. I'm not taking your word for it. We took your word for it by sending them out there, that they were going to be treated with a modicum of respect and decency, not less than a dog. Honest to God, if you had a dog that looked the way that man does, they would put you in jail. If you went to somebody's house and you see the dog's ribs, somebody would come get the dog, because they would feel that dog's life and welfare was in danger. Well, should it not be any less than that of a man? So anyway, again, I'm not buying this. Somebody saw him walking. I'm not buying that. The DOC or the governor's office, anybody, I'm not buying that. We want to see. Somebody needs to film this guy walking. I mean, really, do y'all really think we that stupid? Okay, let me answer that question for you. Yes, you do. Okay, come on. Somebody saw him walking around. Really? Really? Somebody saw me with $1 million. Can you find it? I mean, come on. That's so. I mean, I was in a newspaper article over the weekend. Somebody saw him walking around. That's not good enough. I'm sorry, Mr. Governor, the Department of Corrections. I'm sorry, Warden. That's not good enough. We need to see him walking around. You guys have a responsibility to take care of these people. Okay, somebody saw him walking around. That's what the paper said. Okay, then. Yeah, I believe that. Oh, yeah, you wouldn't lie to me. Boy, good morning. Pretty good. Mm-hmm.
The spread of possibility of this one incident as if it's going to nullify the gross injustices that have taken place throughout the Department of Corrections. This is just an example. This is a microcosm of something that has been going on for years, well documented in court cases and in affidavits and testimony that has been given. And what is shocking is the fact that, yes, unfortunately, a lot of our elected officials have been as silent, as complacent, and avoidant as anyone else. And so this whole system, Kevin, needs an enema. It needs to be cleaned out, and it's both black and white, and it's not necessarily limited to one group. And the organizations that have been forming are getting attention from all over the country. But Kevin, we shouldn't have to go out of the state of Alabama and do all of these things when these people are supposed to be responsive to us now. This situation is not an isolated incident, and there are mothers that are informed that their sons are killed by other inmates, and then the families have to wait for months to get death certificates and those types of things. And so this whole cabal of secrecy, it just needs to end. And just like with lynching, Kevin, people knew lynching was taking place. I mean, the whole purpose of it was for public fear, so that black people would not advance in certain areas. And I'll close by saying that most of those people, Kevin, that you saw at that EJI museum, they weren't lynched because of what they were doing wrong. They were lynched because of what they were doing right. And that's the paradox. That's what makes white supremacy and racism what it is that the black people who are doing things the legal way, the righteous way, they are doing things the conventional way, those are the ones that get lynched. And it's an example to other people, for black people to stay in line. And the same thing is happening now, Kevin. The people who are sounding their alarm are looked at as being the villains. They're the ones who are dragged through the mud. And then they're looked at and their own personal lives are attacked purely because they're trying to show the unconstitutional actions of our state government. So our system needs an enema. We need to clean it out. We need clarity, and we need the truth. Thanks, Kevin.
All right, appreciate it. 860-1440 is the number here. You want to give us a call? 8:15 in the morning. You got about 45 minutes to the top of the hour. So you got time to chime in. Good morning. Yes.
You can be the cleanup woman and the cleanup man on November the 8th. The sample ballots are already online. Start at the top where you see the governor. You have on here straight party voting, Alabama Democratic Party, Republican Party, Libertarian Party. Now, if you're not pleased with Kay Ivey, you have two other choices, two different parties to get rid of her. Everybody has sued her. I have told Kevin several times that she's been sued about the prison system, federal government, state, their poverty law centers. How many lawsuits will it take?
Well, just because somebody sues you don't mean they're right.
In case they ruled in the other fellow's case that she had to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Something that she did.
Well, wait a minute, but the governor doesn't pass law, she only signs it. Where's the help coming from the legislature? You do. Yeah, that's true. Right. But I'm just saying, just because somebody sues you, though, and even if they win, doesn't necessarily mean you personally are. But the governor is at the top of the food chain, and I agree with that. I think this, yeah. Well, where's our legislatures at, though? Right, but our representatives, state Senate and the state House of Representatives, where are they? All right. All right. I don't have a complaint with that. If that's what you need to do, that's what we need to do. Right. They are. I mean, but you never hear from them. You know, it's kind of like listen, it's kind of like this ARPA money. We keep hearing about it. we just don't. Yeah. Yeah, it take a little bit too long. Appreciate it. Yeah, we keep hearing about ARPA money, kind of like Sasquatch up in Washington State. We keep hearing about it. Nobody's seen them. We keep hearing about the ARPA money, but nobody's seen it. We got a budget last week that's been upgraded, a little bit more money in it, and I'm just wondering where the money coming from. You know, and is the raise sustainable even after this year? We'll see. We'll see. 8:19 in the morning. Good morning. Who's this? Yes.
Today, even though they don't need no interviews no more, they got national coverage now. Reverend Sankey come on every week and talk about the prison system. And you're right, it's the legislature. I remember when Roberta Franklin was living, Roberta and Senator Quentin Ross and Al Sharpton and Jesse and many, many more. They took a stroll through the prison system and to look at the conditions that they was doing, treating those people inhumane. But the legislators that we have now, they just there for figureheads. You know, they don't have a voice. You know, we have even started with Kurt Hatcher. We don't know Kurt Hatcher like that. Kurt Hatcher got in by default on trickery of Abbott Home. I don't think no one can call into these airways today and tell me, or tell your audience anything good about any of our legislators. They are figureheads. And when the black cries out, which they do, and they pretty much, you know, in order to be a legislator, you gotta have tough skin. You got to be an Abbott Home because there's gonna be some issues that you're gonna have to touch on, but there's gonna be consequences. And nobody wants the consequences, but they want the salary. Even from the city to the county to the governor, you don't have an Abbott Home or you don't have a Joe Reed in no position no more. You just have figureheads. These people are just there to vote for laws. They're not going to go outside of their arena to sound their alarm. You know, that individual, this case happened right here pretty much in Montgomery, where this person was treated the way that they was treated. And I have an individual trying to get me to look at it another way. But
I can't. Yeah.
You got an individual in population that was too. I don't care what the person did at that point. This man was dying, man. He was suffering in general population with the other inmates. That's a violation right there by itself. I know Alabama Department of Correction, they're gonna have to be held accountable. And then you have the warden. See what I'm saying now? The legislator, they can say the same thing, but they're not going to say it because there are consequences. The warden, who was alleged to got a DUI, one of the black, and these black people out there running the prison camp, along with one the white guy is. But you have blacks in command, and the way they treated this family man, I don't know, God don't like ugly, but the way they treated that individual. And there are a lot of was suffering. Someone tried to make me believe that, well, he denied medical treatment. Even if he denied medical treatment, I'm not a legislator. He don't supposed to be in population under those medical conditions. He should be somewhere isolated, whatever you call the little hospital prison where you're supposed to receive medical care. But that's wrong. And I just commend you for bringing the issue to the table. And also Reverend Sankey, who's out there fighting like he's a legislator. That's why we need a legislator like that. The other ones are just figurehead, and they're not going to ruffle nobody's feathers because they work for people. Like you said, you don't need a job when you're down there trying to do right. When you work for the system, and you're trying to lead your people, man, that's a conflict of interest.
Yeah, and absolutely right. When you have a job, when you work a job that's dependent on money from the same organization you work for, the government, it's difficult to stick your head up because you might get it lopped off. I don't know, but we need to think about that. We'll be back right after this. 860-1440 is the number. You don't forget to download our app, News Radio 1440, from the Google Play Store or from the Apple Store. You can always get it. Not a problem. We'll be back.
Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Sponsored by Blindster. Want to save big on new blinds? Blindster.com offers custom-made blind shades and shutters shipped directly to you at prices less than big box retailers. Shop Blindster now and save 45% off any order. Just use code RADIO. Offer ends soon. Shop today. Blindster.com.
Good morning, Montgomery. Right now, things are looking good. Nothing's being reported by the authorities that would send you on an alternate route. Most of our backup and slowdowns stand out. Traffic moving smoothly on the interstates here in the Tri-County area. That's always good news. Keep listening. We'll keep you posted. There's over 30 homes to choose from at Jayco Homes, with more arriving each week. Call Coach Dean or reach out to Richard. They're at Jayco Homes along the Wetumpka Highway and their new location in Alex City. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, this is Major Delay.
You love your car, yes. But why are you not loving it with those tires that carry you and your family everywhere? Let Chico's Auto Pros show some love with our super savings on tires. Chico's Auto Pros.
Turn up your radio. Here's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
Officials at the Biden Pentagon claiming young Americans no longer want to serve in the armed forces. Well, really? You think maybe, just maybe, the Pentagon's recruitment problem has something to do with the humiliating retreat in Afghanistan, including abandoning thousands of Americans behind enemy lines, not to mention the fact that Biden's inflation is so high that they're telling our troops that are serving our country and protecting our freedoms that their tax dollars will go to pay for a college education for other Americans. But if you're not balancing your budget, making ends meet, we recommend you go on food stamps, because that's what Biden's Pentagon has now done.
Check out the Sean Hannity radio show later today, right here.
War, inflation, and $30 trillion in debt. It's looking like 2008 all over again. Millions of Americans watched their retirement savings disappear, while those who invested in physical gold and silver were protected. And if you have $50,000 or more in your IRA, 401k, or savings, you could be at risk again. Right now, thousands of Americans are using an IRS loophole to add physical gold and silver to their retirement savings. So call 855-815-GOLD to get a free gold kit and learn how you could get $10,000 or more in free silver to protect your retirement savings. Goldco has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, and they have placed over $1 billion in precious metals. We could be looking at a recession worse than 2008, so don't wait. Call Goldco today. Call 855-815-GOLD. That's 855-815-GOLD.
Mix a little sports analysis, pop culture, and great interviews. You've got the Rich Eisen Show podcast.
I'm wearing Birkenstocks today. They have very nice footwear. Rich, you look like you're ready to park the red. I might go home today. It's called fashion. Chris Fowler here on the Rich Eisen Show. How you doing, Chris?
Despite my boulder roots, I cannot pull off Birkenstocks. Oh, upset. That's why I don't put them on. But hey, listen, I'm sure they look good on you.
The Rich Eisen Show podcast, wherever you listen.
Ron's Roofing knows that when a storm damages your roof, it's hard to know what to do next. Easy. Rely on the most trusted and recognized roofing name, Ron's Roofing. They'll help protect you from the next storm. Ron's Roofing understands that your roof is your home's first line of defense. That's why they work with all insurance companies to ensure that your home is protected from any unexpected storms. A job won't get the Ron's Roofing name on it unless it's done right. Visit ronsroofing.com or call 215-0070.
Ad paid for by the Sentinel Group. Attention Marines, military personnel, families, and contractors who were stationed at Camp Lejeune. Were you present at Camp Lejeune between between August 1953 and December 1987, you may be entitled to significant compensation. For nearly 34 years, those in the Marine Corps base Camp Lejeune were exposed to contaminated drinking water, resulting in devastating injuries, including several forms of cancer, adverse birth outcomes, Parkinson's disease, and more. North Carolina's procedural laws have prevented victims from getting the justice they deserve, but passage of the Camp Lejeune Justice Act of 2022 would allow you or a loved one to file lawsuits seeking compensation for illnesses and injuries linked to the toxic water. Call today for your free consultation. 800-774-7415. Let our experienced attorneys fight to get you the compensation you deserve, and you pay nothing unless there's a recovery in your favor. Call 800-774-7415. That's 800-774-7415. Again, 800-774-7415.
He's the voice of the conservative millennial. Ben Shapiro. The Ben Shapiro Show. Monday night at 8 p.m. on News Radio 1440. Depend on it.
And 8:29 in this morning, if you want to got something on your mind, please feel free to give us a call, 860-1440. Trying to have an interesting conversation. Got a note here. Got a note here right quick I want to share with you guys. Evidently, the let me see, where's that note? Oh, here we go, right here. JD, let me see now. Oh, let me make sure I check that out right, because I want to make sure I get the message correct, because, you know, I have a tendency sometimes to get messages wrong. Okay, I'm just saying. Yeah. Let me see now. Okay, here we go right here. Okay. Evidently, the JV basketball team at Jeff Davis needs a little bit of help with raising money to get some of the things they need this year. And I would suggest that if you have an opportunity, if you when the big people live out there in Greystone or you know, even Ownerstone, if you can help them, you know, because we need to do all we can to keep our kids out of the streets and keep them out of mischief. And matter of fact, it's hard enough to keep grown people out of mischief. So I know it's difficult to keep kids out of it. So if you can help out a little bit, let me give you a number where you can call. See if you can donate a little money. I guess they need some uniforms. They need this and that. Although I will admit to you, and I think that the school got more money. They got a lot of money. But evidently, these things. Do high schools have booster clubs? I don't know. Do we have booster clubs? Do we have things like that? Anyway, they need a little help. So here's a number. You can call 462-2832. That's 462-2832. Talk to the coach. And just help these guys out. I'm gonna throw a little bit of something in there. Also, you know, because I'd rather see them playing basketball. I would rather see them playing basketball than messing around, you know, doing other things. So let's help if we can. I don't know exactly what they need. So you can call the coach, CJ, 462-2832. 462-2832. And if you can give a hand, hey, listen, $5 you got is better than $5 you don't. So if all you can do is give up $5, that'd be fine too. If enough of us give $5, $10, $20, whatever we can, it'll help those guys out. Okay. Here's that number again: 462-2832. Good morning. Who's this? Good morning. I can't really hear you. Still can't hear you. Are you on speakerphone or something? That's a little bit better. I'm sorry. How did I mess up? Right. Well, the Supreme Court ruled some years ago that the only time the police or law enforcement has an obligation to you is when you are locked up. Okay, and so they do have a responsibility for you. And this stuff about, well, you know, he got killed because we don't have enough. That's not the point. I think a lot of families ought to start suing the hell out of the Department of Correction when their loved ones get hurt. Mm. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. All right. All right. Got to run. But I hear you. I hear what you say. Of course, everybody who has a job has to, you know, play by the guy that's paying them. But you think, but a representative, his only concern should be what the people he represent want. You would think. Good morning. Who's this? Hello. Yeah. Yes. Where is that? Mm. Mm. Well, there may be some people that agree. You know, there may be some people that agree with you. But again, that's why we have a three-tier system. You know, we got representatives, we got a governor, and we got the state senate. You know, and we got the judiciary, of course. I mean, we got. It's supposed to be a balancing act between all three of those branches, and it doesn't seem. It seems like all them branches going the same way. So, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but all right. And again, okay. Again, let me tell you about one of our sponsors of our show, which is, of course, JL Lane Truck and Auto. JLLaneTruckandAuto.com. If you're in need of a pre-loved car, a pre-loved automobile, we're not going to say used. We don't use them kind of words around here. Pre-loved automobile. They got online inventory. All you got to do is go to JLLaneTruckandAuto.com. JLLaneTruckandAuto.com. Look at the inventory. Pick up the phone, 272-4313. Say, I want that one. And if you say that, they'll get it ready for you. All you gotta do is come pick it up. Put a little money down on it, something like that. 208 Gun Road, 272-4313. All the cars have undergone a vigorous and rigorous inspection for everything that on that vehicle, from the tail light, from the back bumper to the front bumper. They check it out and they make sure that you're going to be in safe hands. Okay, so I trust them. You can trust them too. I was, if my mom was here, I'd send her over there to get her a car. Okay, really, even though she'd be 86 years old, she could probably still drive. Anyway, so give them a call, 272-4313, 272-4313. And here's a good thing about it. If your credit's not so good, don't worry about it. They worried about your future, not your past. You can buy there and you can pay there. You just got to talk to Mr. Lane and talk to Steve and let them know and show them, that you have the ability to do that. Okay, so give them a call, 272-4313. Tell you heard about them on the radio, and I guarantee you, that will help you out a little bit. At least you know you listen to good radio. And if you listen to talk radio, you're going to be responsible. Okay? 272-4313. That is JL Lane Truck and Auto, or the website, jllanetruckandauto.com. Take another call. Good morning. Who's this? Good morning. Who's this? Pretty good. Mm-hmm. Right. All right. All right. All right. Appreciate it. Good morning. Who's this? Yes. Mm-hmm. All right. Appreciate it. Let's take our last break of the hour. We'll come back. It's 8:42 in the morning. Where does the time go when you're having fun? And I still didn't get to the one thing I was going to talk to you about this morning. Maybe we have enough time. Maybe we got to finish it tomorrow. But well, maybe I will do this one tomorrow, because if I live and nothing happens, because it's going to take more than a couple of seconds to talk about this, because I know. But then we come back. But again, I did something this weekend I said I would never do, and I was going to the EJI. It is the EJI memorial over there to the lynching. And I also said I wasn't going to go over to the where did I said I wasn't going to go to? I wasn't going to go to the but anyway, but I did this weekend. I did this weekend, and I'm glad I did. It was the Legacy Museum. We went to that, and we also went over to what is that other place over there called? It's called the National Memorial for Peace and Justice, and I went over there too. And I got to tell you, it changed my perspective on the whole thing. But there's a room over there. There's a room over there that has I call it the Room of Honor, and it lists black and white, mostly black, white folks, but black people who went in harm's way like any other soldier, without thinking about what was going to happen to them. Oh, they all knew, like any soldier goes into battle, you know there's a possibility that you won't come home. But you do something anyway. You're willing to sacrifice anyway, because you hope that your sacrifice won't be in vain. And it's a wall of honor. And I think if more kids see that in Montgomery, need to go over there and see that, they will stop walking around with their pants all down, all crazy, doing all kinds of criminal activity. I think we'll have some pride in what we do. Things we won't walk around looking crazy. I don't know. At least I'm hoping that's what would happen. And some of them, it probably wouldn't make a difference. And one of the things, of course, we do have is a lack of fathers involved in the kid's life. That is a terrible. Now, is that part of the legacy of slavery? Some would argue that it is. I don't. Is that part of the legacy of lynchings and taking men away from their families? Some say that it is. But there has to come a point in our lives. There has to come a point in our life that we look in the mirror and the one we blame is the one looking back. There's gotta be, or else are you telling me we're no different than animals? We don't just go out and procreate just for the hell of it. I know too many men in this town who busted their hump, one in particular, who busted their hump to do the right thing by their kids. Okay, and I mean sacrificial busting of the hump. So any man that does that, it doesn't take care of his children. And women, y'all 50% of the problem also. You pick them. If you're working at McDonald's when you meet him, you think he's gonna start working when you get pregnant? If he can't do it when you meet him, he certainly ain't gonna do it when there's three of y'all. So yeah, with women, ladies, you've got to take your standards up. You got to take your standards up when it comes to picking men. Yeah, I ain't the best one either. Some of y'all would have to pass me up too. Okay, do a better job. Do a better job in picking the men you get impregnated by. If he's a dud now, he's a dud when you get pregnant. Okay, if he ain't doing, I'll use some ghetto language. If he ain't doing what he need to be doing now, he ain't gonna do what he's supposed to do when the baby comes. Okay, we need to up our standards. Ladies, do better. If he got to hold his pants up because he can't afford a belt, then don't let him drop his pants in your house. Okay, if he can't do it, let him go. Let him go, because ultimately it's gonna be you and a little baby all alone trying to make it. Up your standard. Okay, just up your standard. There's a lot of good guys out here who are working hard, in the military, doing all kinds of things, trying to make it. Okay, and whatever you do, don't get a dummy. Okay, I just said, don't get a dummy. We'll be back after this.
SFA First Alert Weather Forecast on News Radio 1440.
Sponsored by Blindster. You need new blinds or shades? Blindster.com offers custom-made blinds, shades, and shutters shipped directly to you at prices less than big box retailers. Blindster blinds are easy to install and guaranteed to fit. Don't overpay for new blinds. Blindster.com.
Trouble
Clouds this afternoon, but that's about it. The humidity will be lower. For tonight, clear, upper 50s. Plenty of sunshine on Tuesday. Temperatures only around 81. It will turn breezy on Tuesday, and Wednesday and Thursday are also breezy. There will be a little more cloud cover Wednesday and Thursday ahead of a chance of some light rain Friday into Saturday. That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. Right now, things are looking good. Nothing's being reported by the authorities that would send you on an alternate route. Most of our backup and slow down, extend out traffic moving smoothly on the interstates here in the Tri-County area. That's always good news. Keep listening. We'll keep you posted. There's over 30 homes to choose from at Jayco Homes, with more arriving each week. Call Coach Dean or reach out to Richard. They're at Jayco Homes on the Wetumpka Highway and their new location in Alex City. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch traffic, this is Major Delay.
How many miles have you driven past your scheduled auto service checkup? A few hundred or a few thousand? Call Chico's Auto Pros today to schedule a quick service at our Atlanta Highway location.
Hey, Bud, this is Coco.
And Captain from the Rustic Furniture Outlet at American Oak and Moore.
We have some great news. We're building a new warehouse.
Yes, but the bad news is we have over $1 million worth of inventory that we have to move. That's over 4,000 pieces.
So, Captain, what are you going to do?
We're going to have a huge warehouse sale. I would rather discount it and sell it than move it.
For the first time ever, we will be giving an additional discount on over 4,000 items in the Rustic Outlet.
I'll let it pass you by.
Come save big and help us get it going.
Hey, I'm Jody.
And I'm Casey from American Oak and Moore.
And the Rustic Furniture Outlet.
We would like to say thank you to everyone in Montgomery, Catawba, and Elmore County for voting us your #1 furniture store in the 2022 Reader's Choice Awards. If you've never shopped with us before,
y'all come see us.
And if you've shopped with us in the past,
y'all come back, you hear?
Remember to check us out on Facebook where we post all of our new items.
You don't pay a fake money, don't set up a fake wood.
Okay, here are 5 important reasons why your son or daughter should play a high school sport.
Number 1.
High school sports teach valuable life lessons like self-discipline, sportsmanship, and time management skills.
2.
Teens who play a high school sport have better grade point averages and fewer disciplinary problems.
Number 3.
High school sports help fight teen obesity and substance abuse.
Here's number 4.
High school sports provide wholesome, constructive after-school activity, perfect for today's families.
And number 5.
And high school sports are safer than ever before. Injury surveillance and research, better equipment, and the continuing education programs for coaches provided by state and national athletic associations have made high school sports safer than ever before.
This message presented by the Alabama High School Athletic Association and the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association.
Did you know that Alabama law requires all pets to be currently vaccinated against rabies? This is State Public Health Veterinarian Dee Jones. Rabies vaccination not only protects dogs and cats from the deadly virus, it also reduces the risk to the owners who can unknowingly be exposed by their unvaccinated pets. Help us protect you, your family, and your pet by getting them vaccinated today.
This message brought to you by the Alabama Department of Public Health and this station.
My name is Dale Pazinski, and this is how I live United. I volunteer with United Way, helping the homeless in my community by teaching computer skills and helping them build a basic resume to save on their very own USB drive. It's huge when somebody says, "Hey man, that job that you helped me apply for, I got it." My name is Dale Pazinski. I help people achieve financial independence. So I don't just wear this shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer. Live United. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
He's the voice of the conservative millennial.
Ben Shapiro.
The Ben Shapiro Show. Tonight at 8 p.m. on News Radio 1440.
And welcome back. One more thing before we, you remember last week when they said that 9 out of 11 students could not do math? I put a call into Michael Sibley's office, Dr. Sibley. He earned that, paid a lot for that degree, so might as well give him the respect of it. And I said, I don't believe that. I do not believe it. I find it incomprehensible to believe that 9 out of 11 students in public school can't do math. I mean, you can if you just show up at school, you accidentally learn something. I mean, I would think so. But here's my issue, and I never really thought about this. If that in fact is the case, then the State Board of Education is at fault. Really, they were under state intervention for 5 years, I think. So are you telling me? So now we let them off from under it, and nobody can do math? Really? I mean, I'm going to try to get Michael Sibley on the air because somebody needs to explain that to me. How you can come off from under supervision of the state, and yet you still can't do math. 9 out of 11 kids you meet cannot do math computations. I mean, all I care about is the basic. I don't care about geometry and trigonometry. Listen, if you can't do those, you're not getting no scientific job anyway. That's why I ain't working in science. But everybody should be able to multiply, subtract, add, and what's the other one? Whatever the other one is. Multiplicate and divide. I mean, everybody should be able to do that. I mean, there's no excuse for that. But the State Board of Education, and that would be, first of all, let me give my congratulations to who's Miss Bell, who evidently they were over in the storm thing over there in the Bahamas or Nassau, wherever they happen to be at. You know where rich people go. I go to Popeye. That's my vacation. But anyway, but the other person, the State Board of Education is responsible. The representative is responsible for that. You don't take people off from under the auspices of the state, and 9 out of 11 kids can't do math. Really? Come on, I still don't believe it. Good morning. We already talked once, brother. Yeah. Okay. Well, your phone's going off anyway. But yeah, well, I ain't talking about eugenics, but I mean, listen, if he can't afford the chillings when he broke, he ain't going to afford them when you get pregnant. So I'm just saying you might want to up your game a little bit on the men that you choose to be impregnated by. I'm just saying. Okay, if that's eugenics, okay, whatever you want to call it, you ought to be thinking about that while you're having such a good time. Anyway, so if 9 kids out of 11 kids in public school, then our State Board of Education, our state education leader, they need to be called on the carpet, because some of this has to come from them. Okay, 9 out of 11 kids. That's incomprehensible to me. Okay, that's what was my word? What was my word of the day? Oh, what's my word of the day? My word of the day is I think this fits that word. The word of the day is incoherent. Okay, without logical or meaningful connection, disjointed, rambling. Because that's what that sounded like. You can't tell me that there are 9 out of 11 kids under the state of Alabama, with all these people making all this money, with our state superintendent making all this money, that 9 out of 11 kids can't do math. I just find that absolutely false. Good morning, you're it. Yeah. Yeah, how you doing? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But how is that possible? I mean, again, if you show up at school, you got to learn something. I mean, by accident. Right. 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 No. Well, I tell you what, I'm going to see if I can reach out, touch Mr. Sibley this morning, because somebody's got to explain this to me. And you're not under intervention anymore? Yeah, I mean, we said you're free. I don't understand that. So, hey, Preacher, time's up. I'm going to make some calls today, though, because I just find that, it's like something out of a sci-fi channel. Can't be real. It's got to be fake. I mean, come on, right? What? Anyway, we'll be back tomorrow. The good Lord says the same. Have a great day, because I forgot to bring my main subject up today. And then go over to see EGI. Look at the presentation they have over there. It'll change your mind.
12 News Update on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, I'm Jasmine Williams at WSFA 12 News. Here's what's happening this Monday. The Alabama Department of Corrections has released new information about the treatment given to memory. Thousands of people have shared it.
Ain't no place I'd rather be than with you.
And his family is begging for medical attention. The ADOC tells WSFA in part that Vaughn has received appropriate medical treatment. An Ozark man, Jeremy Morris, is behind bars involved with the solicitation of children. According to the Dale County Sheriff's Office, Morris allegedly solicited sexual contact with children via an undercover officer. He's since been charged with first-degree rape, sexual abuse of a child, and more. After spending months in Russian captivity, 2 Alabamians are finally home. Alex Rickey and Andy Wynn arrived at Birmingham this weekend. The men were serving with the Ukraine Army as volunteers when they were captured back in June. I'm Jasmine Williams at WSFA, and these are your morning headlines.
WLWI-AM is News Radio 1440, also heard on 95.1 HD3 FM in Montgomery, a Cumulus media station. The 25K Workday Payday. Here's your national keyword to win $100. Text NICKEL, 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 to 95819.
I never won anything in the radio before. Wow.
Standard messaging rates apply. Don't text and drive. We'll text back to confirm your entry. Then you qualify to win the grand prize of $25,000.
Ain't no place I'd rather be than with you. Well.